Hi. Hi. It's the Grand Knish, ladies and gentlemen, alerting everyone to the fact that we're on live now, ready for a new edition of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio program of the stream. But he took a tumble.
He was doing some aerobics.
Grand Knish is very excited today because we'll have an edition of Potato. Well, you know what? I'll start the show and I'll tell you what we're going to do on the show. That kind of makes some sense. Let me bring that down. Let me bring my iTunes up. And we can begin. Dave's Gone By.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
There goes the Daverhood.
And there was much rejoicing.
Didn't your meds kick in yet?
We got David Lefkowitz here. He's a Long Island arts guy. He's got his own radio show.
I want you all to really enjoy a wonderful program done by a fine artist.
A glorious thing of unparalleled beauty.
Dave's Gone By. Dave is one of my very favorite broadcasters, so keep on listening to Mr. Dave.
Tropical hot dog night. Like two flamingos in a fruit fight. Every color of day. Whirling around at night.
There goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody, and welcome all to a brand new edition of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio program of the stream. With me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling and adorable wife, Joyce, and, of course, very special appearance this week by the Grand Knish himself, the very great Potato. Oh, his hat is a little askew. There's a... No,
there.
Thank you so much. Royal subjects. Yes, Grand Knish is excited because we have not only a new edition of Potato News,
But the little guy.
oh, and Papito, the royal grandchild, is here. Let me see if this will, because I'm not seeing who's logging on. Yeah, not showing me who's logging on at this point. But welcome all the folks who are listening to the Dave's Gone By show. We've got Papito here. We have the Grand Knish here.
Behind is the knapsack potato. Show them that one. The students might like that.
Where is he?
He's behind your computer.
Oh, yeah, and even because we're emerging from the University of Northern Colorado in Greeley, Colorado. There's a face for the morning. We even have our school-age Potato with his little knapsack.
What's in his knapsack?
Let's see if there's anything in there.
Yeah.
He's got a UV knapsack. I think he may have one item.
He had ketchup. He had a lot of stuff in there, but it was too heavy.
So he has his little...
Oh.
It looks like a matchbook, which every little student needs.
Yeah.
No, but it's a first aid kit.
Yeah, he has the first aid, because he keeps falling backward. I tell them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because of the aerodynamics of a potato and a knapsack, they really don't work well together. So here's what kind of, well, it won't really show, but...
That's
basically
Get the first aid kit, I'll dress him.
So he's got this, and he's got a, what is this? Oh, he has a dreidel, because he likes to be early for the holidays. What else? Oh, I don't know what that, let's see.
A toilet
He has a toilet plunger. His own little toilet plunger, so if he's using the school facilities and he makes a mess, he's got the plunger.
He's a good boy.
He also has a sushi spoon.
In case he's hungry.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good. But he doesn't have ketchup.
He's into recycling. The ketchup fell out. It was on the outside part, yeah.
And then we, of course, have a spare nose.
Yeah.
In case his nose
party
falls
nose,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, so here. Kind of, let's see how it is in blue.
I think it's pretty.
Me too. Yeah.
We're so used to the purple, you can't,
And then finally, the last... Oh, he has a couple of things. No wonder he's so loaded down. He's got...
That?
I have no idea what the hell this is. It's like a wood chip.
It's a windshield wiper.
Maybe. Or maybe it might have been some kind of...
Oh, it's a clothespin. I'll give it to me. I'll put it together.
Okay, please do.
It's his clothespin.
No. It snapped. Oh, no.
Yeah,
Although he does have this. He does have a
this
a clip that he can use.
We may have to throw this away. Just tell him it's... Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sorry, Potato. It's all right. You're going to school. He doesn't have any textbooks. Why is that, hon?
He reads online. He buys electronic books.
That's true.
E-book.
Yeah. P-books, actually, for potatoes.
Yes.
Anyway, Potato is very excited. The Grand Knish is really excited because we'll have not only an edition of Potato News, but Joyce and I went to Potato Day in Greeley last week. It's a very exciting thing. Oh, hon, there's more sound machines in here.
Okay. You tell them I'll be back. I gotta go anyways.
So every year in Greeley, Colorado, right around this time of year, they celebrate the history of northern Colorado and Greeley by having Potato Day. Yes, which is not really a celebration of potatoes to an extent, because what they're actually doing is showing, hey, this is what Greeley was like 150 years ago. So you have a chuck wagon and a blacksmith and white people lynching folks, but eventually you get a potato, and you get it with all the fixings, including bacon, which is why I guess they charge $7 to get into the damn thing, worth every penny. And I've been going almost every year that we have lived here to Potato Day. And this time, if you've seen my Facebook page, you know exactly how I was dressed. Because what happened was the Grand Kanish usually goes. The Grand Kanish has attended the last several Potato Days in Greeley. But this time, hasn't borne out, thank God, but there was a credible threat on his life from the Ore-Ida kitchens. And so he asked if I would go in his stead, and I went to Potato Day last Saturday. I'm going to tell you all about it. By the way, welcome to Jessica and Richard and Dennis and John and Michael and David and Jolinda. Seeing a lot of some new names here, and new people as well as some people who are here pretty much every week. That's right, we weren't on the air last week because I was at Potato Day. We'll tell you about that. We're going to talk about some other stuff, but yes, we'll have potato news. And yes, we'll go inside Broadway for news of the Rialto. A lot of theater news. A couple of shows closing. We have a very sad death in the theater world to talk about, and some happy stuff too. So we'll go there. We'll have a Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Ooh. And this is more appropriate than ever, because we've been doing them every week, where we take a city or town in Colorado and create a really filthy, disgusting limerick about it, which is the joy of my life. But Damned is extra, shall we say, extra relevant to this edition of the Dave's Gone By show, because this is, believe it or not, our 666th episode. Sign of the Beast! So, amazing. We have done 665 previous Dave's Gone By programs. So you've come to the one. If the world is going to end, and not just maybe North Carolina and Virginia, but if the entire world were to end today, it may be because this is our 666th show of Dave's Gone By, where we mix comedy and talk and music and all sorts of other stuff. That's the joy of it. And by the way, it is a joy to have Scott and Jonathan and Karen from my old library and so many other people watching on this Saturday morning, September 15th, 2018. We're calling this edition Death Grip. It should be more of a beastly thing because of the 666, but whatever. Anyway, I want to welcome to Tony, who already gave me a thumbs up, I think when I was talking about Potato Day. Potatoes. What else are we doing on the show? Oh, we'll go back to StoryTime and our vegetable friends. We've been reading this book by Tony Lawler and Bruce Kosiemba, which has to do with vegetables. Now, last week, we, of course, dealt with the mighty potato, and then we even made time. Was it the corn? Yeah, we had corny on the cob, and we had that rather terrible moment when he was demonstrating how delicious corn is, and he pulled a niblet off himself and showed how good it was to eat. I mean, there's something really, really sick about that.
It's cannibalistic.
But there's other potatoes there's other vegetables in this vegetable friends book. So we're gonna dip more into it.
What happened to the corn?
Well, look at him. Look what happened. Look what he did.
Okay, show the people.
It's not even like losing a tooth. He's pulling a part of his body off of his husk, or whatever what do they call the corn part?
Cob.
Of his cob. Yeah, for people to eat. And he's planting more. It's a very weird eugenics society kind of thing that they're doing, but it's Vegetable Friends. We'll be reading more of this book, by the way, so I'm extremely excited about that.
Wow.
We'll have a Saturday segue of songs in the news. Oh, and we will have, let's make sure we do that or else I'll forget. It's time for us to set up for the segment later in the show called Dave's Big...
I'm exercising.
There you go. Get those fingers working. Because Joyce is going to thumb through Dave's Big Dick. Dictionary. That's right, Dave's Big Dictionary, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to pick a word completely at random.
God.
Actually, do you want to do this? We can do the Cambridge one if you want.
This one is not a good one.
This is kind of, I'm going to move these little recorders for a moment.
Put them on that one.
Okay. There. Can move that here.
Oh, cheerio, cheerio.
So Joyce is using a different, this is a Cambridge.
This is
What the hell is that?
it's more, this is like,
Oh, it's not a dictionary at all.
it's the concise Cambridge.
Yeah.
Should I do it on my phone?
This is a concise history, ladies and gentlemen. No, let me pull these back up. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Hold on. Here. We're going to put these back on. Okay. Grab it. So Joyce will thumb thing in the world.
Okay.
She finds
Nickelodeon. An early movie theater. First I picked DVD, but then we repicked it. Oh, that was the one we canceled. Nickelodeon. It's a noun. Number 1, an early movie theater to which admission cost 5 cents. 2, a jukebox.
Oh, I never knew that that one.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon. Hey.
Nickelodeon. An early movie theater to which admission cost 5 cents, or 2 is a jukebox.
Right.
Put another nickel in that Nickelodeon.
All I want is loving you, that brings me to a wonderful story.
Oh, God.
A story about, the lawn party of a Jewish lawyer back in Long Island. Oh, do I have a story about that?
Is it a joke or is it real?
No, real actual
Tell
thing.
the story. Go ahead.
No. I'm going to do that. Now I'll have something to tell in Dave's Big Dictionary. It's connected to the word. Oh, this is the best one we've had in a long time, ladies and gentlemen. What was his name? I think it was...
I don't know.
You're going to have to hang through the whole show, folks, because we're going to have a great Dave's Big Dictionary segment with the word Nickelodeon. Not to mention, it was a
have such
TV
pretty
channel.
pictures of themselves. Look.
Yeah. We got
Look at all
Scott
that.
and Jonathan, Karen, and Drew.
Michael.
Yeah. Where's Michael? Where did you see Michael? Oh, up there.
And
I
then
missed
there's
him.
somebody
Yeah.
else with the blurry.
Michael and Tony. So, yeah, going to be a lot of fun
Tony.
on Dave's Gone By today. So, how are you, babe?
I'm sleepy.
Okay. I'm Doc. I'm grumpy.
I woke
I'm
up with the
grumpy.
dog going, with the dog kind of,
Well, 2 weeks ago,
Yes.
we were dealing with dog diarrhea. But did you all eat breakfast yet? Our dog starts making these really, really soft stools. And we think it's going to get better, and then the day later, you know, they literally have a poop chart for dogs that you can look up.
Bristol poop chart.
Bristol poop chart, where it goes from 1 to 7, and 1 is like little rock hard nuggets, and 7 is pudding. And
So it's like
checking
liquid.
Yeah, well, it's brown liquid. Yeah, it's like yeah. So our dog's already at like a 6.
No, I think he's like a 3 or 2 now.
No. Now he's perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm saying 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We get it's just like watery, messy, mushy.
Well, tell them the reason why it's so important is because our dog is he's 16 and a half years old.
Yeah.
So March, April, May, June, July, August, September. He is 16 and a half. So he's 16 years, 6 months.
So when a dog, he's a small dog.
He's teeny, yeah.
So if he dehydrates,
Yeah,
if
he
something
could
goes
die.
wrong with a small dog, it's more
Yeah.
scary per se than a
The
big
vet
dog.
said if he got dehydrated, we have to subcutaneously fluid him, or
Yeah.
then they put him in the doggy hospital.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, we brought him in, and they just said, no, give him some rice, give him some canned
Some medicine,
intestinal
some
diet
medicine,
food,
yeah.
which we did.
Chicken and rice and medicine.
And this was about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks
Sunday. It
ago.
was a Sunday we took him. No, Sunday.
But we did all this,
Yeah.
and he was fine, thank God. He made a wonderful poo this morning. It's back on the 3 scale of the Bristol
The only
poop
problem
scale.
is that when he doesn't eat at night, he does get a little bit of bile, yeah.
Well, that's from the
Yeah,
other end.
yeah.
So he'll just go, and yellow stuff we'll find on the carpet. The joys of dog ownership. But thank God that's very, very minor considering the age of our doggie.
I think I'll have some rice tonight.
And people who know me, and people who know what I write about, and people who know this program, know that I do have sort of I am poo-philic.
Tell them about the baby doll.
Yes, tell them.
Tell them, wait.
So this morning, out of the blue,
Baby Whoopsie.
we're not even looking for this, but we've got the TV on, we've got the channel, the Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
And they're trying Teen Titans Go and whatever else. But they've got in the commercials, like one after the other, it's a commercial with a platypus and a jackalope. This is about 7 in the morning. I can't deal. I can't focus. Once there's this chaotic cartoon. This is why kids can't have no attention span.
This is the cause of ADHD, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like this, and it wasn't a cartoon of a platypus. It was an actual, seemingly real or animatronic platypus talking to a rabbit elope. What is a jackalope anyway?
A jackrabbit and an antelope, of course.
Antelope? How did you can mix a...
No, where's the antennae? The
really?
Antlers, yeah.
Oh my. Anyway, like a jackalope and a...
And then baby Whoopsie.
And so we get through that commercial.
Potty dancer.
Yeah, well, on TV...
Yes.
There's a doll that they have now, which, very cute, and it's a African-American little girl doll.
Or you can get the Hispanic or the white one they're trying to do.
And she does a special thing. She gets thirsty. And she'll let you know if she gets thirsty. You got to give her water or whatever brew that you give a thirsty doll. And then she'll say, ooh.
Pee-pee dance.
She'll do her
do it. I'll hold your hand and dance.
I don't know how it dances.
You got to crush her legs and...
Because it's a very short commercial. But then you've got to bring her on her special potty seat. And this doll will piss.
She tinkles.
In your world, she tinkles. In my world, she pisses in the seat. And they're very clear about this, that she won't pee anywhere else. It's a very neat doll.
That's
the whole
good.
point is that...
she's like Monk.
That's right. She comes with her hand sanitizer.
She'll only go in that one little... But then say what you found.
So we look
Baby
on the
Whoopsie,
interwebs to see if this would be a good gift for me for the holidays.
Yes, of course.
Because I do love pee and poo. And the same company, Hasbro...
They
not only
discontinued this one, though.
Oh, it was an old one. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait. They couldn't have discontinued the pee doll. They were advertising it.
No, that was the potty dance one, but the baby Whoopsie is discontinued.
Before the potty dancing doll, Hasbro made something called Baby Whoopsie Doo. That's what it's called, Baby Whoopsie Doo. It wears a diaper. And it has special juice that you feed it. I'm not kidding about this.
No.
You feed it special juice, and then at some point it looks down and goes, ah!
Is that how it sounds? Like a seagull.
And that is your indication that it's time to change.
That's Whoopsie.
Yeah. And I just wish I could tell these little girls who parents are buying this doll for them, that when, not that I have any experience of this personally, but that when parents have these little babies, it's adorable for a couple of days when babies start to pee and poo, because it means their systems are working. How you clean it, and it's so cute. And then as Bill Cosby,
oh God,
in his routine said, and then God puts odor in the poo. And then within a week, parents are like, oh, goddamn. I want to clean this again.
Well, that's why they make Baby Whoopsie.
Yeah, no, but baby, what child is really going to want to do that more than a time or two?
You know why they do that?
No.
I think it's enslavement of women. They make these dolls so little girls can assume the slave role all the time.
Yeah. Well, you haven't wiped my butt since I had the hernia. How come? I go, knock wood, I go once or twice a day sometimes. I have to wipe myself. Why?
Because we're married. You're a capable adult.
I guess. In very few things, but certainly. Hey, by the way, welcome to Drew and Walker and Tom and Steve and Jay and all these other very cool people who are tuning in to the Dave's Gone By. We're talking about poop and dolls that poop pee on TV. And you can find Baby
They
Whoopsie
discontinued
Doo.
the poop one.
Why?
It probably got too messy. What kind of parent would
Well, it's got a diaper, but then you got to take it. Yeah. And then after the second time doing that, a child will get so bored, they'll leave it, and then mom and dad have to go and take a thing and scoop and wipe and make more juice.
We could look in the Ark or somewhere, maybe Goodwill, and see if there's any.
I want a Baby Whoopsie Doo doll. I do. And they have of course, it's the age that we live in. There's a scary Stepford white baby with big blue eyes.
Oh, no,
they also have a black one.
That was freaky.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe that's why they discontinued it. It was scary.
Yeah. Well, the black one was cute. And they had another, what was the other?
They try to be racially inclusive, but They had one with red hair, one with dark hair. They just tried to do all kind of, derivations.
We're going to make ginger poops.
Oh, God, ginger. Maybe a carrot.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway.
Maybe you could do baby potato whoopsie. You could feed them ketchup.
Here, what he can do, he can do it, he got caught there, in his knapsack.
No, he cannot.
Hold on, Dammy, I'm going to do it.
No, get me your handkerchief. No. Get me your handkerchief and I'll make him a diaper.
Okay. Yeah, because he's going to need one.
Can I do it on the little one?
Oh, of course, the not fully grown papito, the baby potato.
Is this disgustingly filthy?
Well, it's got some phlegm on it. You asked for my handkerchief. What do you think I use it for?
I'm going to make a diaper for the baby. You just talk on your show.
Okay, I'm going to talk on my show. Anyway, this program is partially brought to you by the fine folks at Hewlett Minuteman Press, the copy kings of Broadway in Hewlett, Long Island. If you need anything copied or bound or spiral bound or laminated, or if you want your company's logo on a pin, on a dreidel, on a plunger, or on a shirt, or on a straw, or what else? If you need, certainly on some sort of carrying bag, Hewlett Minuteman Press can do that for you. If you need monogrammed something, Hewlett Minuteman Press can do it.
Demonstrate.
They're right in the heart. Okay.
That's baby potato whoopsie. Yeah.
I don't really want to do a poop commercial in the middle of. Somehow I think we might lose our sponsorship after all these years.
No.
So hold it. I'm trying. Just hold it.
Why he doesn't have to hold it? He's wearing a diaper.
Oh, that's right. He can do whatever he
Let him be
wants.
free.
But anyway, Hewlett Minuteman, if you tell them Dave sent you, you get 10% off any job, big or small. They're right in the heart of Hewlett, Long Island, about 2.5 blocks from the train station, across the street from the giant Petco. And again, the Choron family has owned and operated Hewlett Minuteman franchise since the mid-1970s. So do check them out. They're now open 5.5 days a week in the fall and winter and spring. So they're open on Saturday, I think, until about noon, and then Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30 for all your copying, printing, and other needs. And hey, time to start thinking about those holiday cards and wedding invitations. They do that too. Hewlett Minuteman Press, they are the copy kings of Broadway. Okay, you ready, Potato? Okay, let's do it. Think of brown things. Oh boy. Let's take a look. So now we have baby Spudsy Doo. It's heavy. Yeah, oh my goodness. Oh. You want to smell?
And put it in your pocket.
What am I going to put in my pocket? Well, what should I do with it now?
Just put it on the table there.
Yeah, I'll just hold that over there for now. Good job, baby potato. Oh, we got to wipe him. If he wore that as a diaper, how can we wipe him now? He's all wet. Oh, no. Oh, dear. We'll use the spare note. We'll just do
You
that.
have tissues in your office. Why not?
We have any lanolin? Okay, that's good.
What about tissues?
Oh, that feels good. Okay, very good, Potato.
Here, I'll put a Band-Aid on him.
Do you have any cornstarch?
Give me the first aid kit. I'll put a Band-Aid on there.
Okay. No, don't waste the Band-Aid.
Yeah, I'm good. These are old.
In case he needs it.
These are from like 1902.
Sorry, it's a Band-Aid.
No, it's okay.
No, don't hurt him.
You just keep doing your show.
Actually, don't. He'll stick to his fuzz.
That's
so just
okay.
make
He likes
believe.
that. No, he'll like that.
Anyway, welcome to Joe and Frank and Jay and Matt. What the hell am I doing with my life? Anyway, I'm Dave Lefkowitz. That's my wife Joyce. That's little baby Papito that she is bandaging because he just made a lovely, lovely poop in his spud diaper. And they let me teach teenagers.
He looks like that guy who goes, word up, it's the code word.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Oh, wow, look at him. Yeah, he's got it. He's got like a soul patch now.
He's done a first aid guide.
See, this was a perfectly good Band-Aid.
No, it wasn't. It's all dried out.
Band-Aids are supposed to be
I can put
dry.
the first aid cream on him if you want.
No, no, it'll ruin his fuzz.
Okay,
Don't do that.
Put it back in his knapsack
Okay,
later.
there we go. Now, what else is good? Well, let's see. Let's talk about Potato Day. If there's time, I'll also talk about the telethon from 2 weeks ago because we weren't here last week. So here,
was
come
Potato
up a
Day
little bit. Potato Day was last Saturday.
Yes.
The reason
Tell them
we're
your
here.
albums on Facebook if they want to see the joyous occasion.
Yes, it was so joyful because I was telling them that the Grand Knish had to sit this one out because there was a threat on him from the Ore-Ida people.
Oh,
so he
no.
had me go in his stead.
No, but you wanted to go like that. It took us a half year to get that costume together.
I know.
The costume went through customs. The hat we had to find. Then my friend and I had to get the ribbon. It was a whole ordeal.
Do you think I should have worn the gloves?
No, I don't think they have gloves on. I think.
Well, they've got these hands like this. How do I approximate
no,
that?
I don't think that's appropriate.
Okay.
You don't wear shiny sneakers or a crown either.
True.
Yeah, it was a great potato day. Very cool weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so starting at 10 o'clock, so of course we arrived at 10 to 10 in my beautiful potato costume.
Yes.
And one person, a couple of people saw me and they said, "Oh, you work in here?"
Yes.
No, not only did I pay to get in along with everybody else, I think they overcharged me. Because it was supposed to be $7 a person and they charged me $19 on the credit card.
You said 18.
No, it was 19. That was the weird part. So it had to have been like
Tax?
18, I don't know, or some special charge for using a card, which they didn't warn me about. Bastards! So, but that's the only negative.
Yeah.
That is my only. I'm Jewish. I have to
beautiful.
find the negative.
You met the Oriana ladies. You ate potato fudge, right? All kind of.
Yeah, these people, they made fudge out of it. There was a brownie they made out of potato that was very good.
There was a
thing.
coconut one with peanut butter or something. Yeah.
That was so good. And then we bought more little baby potato pins that were adorable. What else did we do? Who was there? So we saw a guy talking endlessly about lumber. The lumber dude.
That was like building a house or something, yeah.
Yeah, and he's so into it because that's his craft. So it's like, well, we have this V joint, and the joint goes here when you're building a house from 1850 something. And I'm like, and
you were
we just
snoring.
want to walk around.
Snoring, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, great, lumber, exciting
but
stuff.
It's a historical village. You got to learn history.
I know, but I don't want to learn anything. I just want to walk around and be a potato.
You did.
So we did that, and who else was there? The chuck wagon was there, but wasn't cooking anything.
No, the lady was making a cake, but we didn't stay long enough for the cake.
Oh, and the tortilla woman, we had a new tortilla lady.
Yeah, she was not cranky like the old tortilla.
But we didn't stay long enough to get a tortilla.
Because
they were putting jam on them.
Yeah, but there were so many people in that tortilla place.
Because it was homemade, like in a hut, and she rolls out the thing.
They did make one of the buildings as a general store. That was new.
That
and they
was
took
excellent.
down the teepee for a windmill.
Yeah, where did the teepee go?
I don't know.
And believe me, if I'm in the bathroom doing what Potato just did, I need a teepee. I need a lot of teepee. You get it? It's a little joke there. Thank you. So, but that general store was cool. It wasn't even that. It was a trapper store.
Yeah, it's like for traders.
Where the animal trappers would go and they'd sell and buy stuff.
Oh, we saw a lot of animisls. Remember all the baby animisls?
They weren't babies. They were they were old and grizzled and smelly and dying.
Yeah.
But they were still really cute. Oh, the chickens were gorgeous. Speaking of it, I don't know if we'll have a chicken alert later, but they had these beautiful brown and white chickens that were so lovely to see. I'm sorry, Miss Bakbagak. I'm saying nice things about your species.
Does she look brown?
Some of my best friends are chickens. Okay. She's not okay. She's not
mad.
Well, why is she blue? Whoever heard of a blue
She
chicken?
didn't get to go to the potato day and see chickens.
Oh, that's true.
We saw turkeys.
We did. Yes. Yeah, they were okay. The turkeys were all right.
What else did we do?
There were a couple of big old smelly sheep.
Got a lot of books.
The book sale was pretty good. That was all right. Always like the book sale that they have.
We learned about quilting and how quilts were used to indicate places in the Underground Railroad. That was fascinating.
Who knew?
I know.
There were all these different designs.
Yeah.
Like this one says there's a portal, and this one it was like a windmill.
Yeah.
And they would literally design the quilts to show, hey,
Isn't that cool?
In this town, this is where you go. So that was neat.
Cool, yeah.
Absolutely, and I love quilts anyway. I don't know if they had a quilting bee, but I think they had a quilting wasp. So
most wasps
scary.
do like to quilt, yeah.
That's comedy right there. I'm sorry about that joke. I really am. Wait, there was one other thing that we did. There was another aspect.
Oh, the beer garden? Yeah, a little schnapps.
Yeah. The problem is I had something sweet right before that.
All the fudge. You ate all the
I had fudge. Right. So I was packing in that fudge, and then I had a beer, and it just didn't, it felt nice. It was getting warm out. I thought, let's have I drink beer maybe 4 times a year.
It was a warm day in the afternoon.
But what else was... Oh, we didn't stay for the Chautauqua presentation. So they had Rosa Parks, I think.
A lot of kids, yeah.
And Jimmy...
But the problem is they put it in the church.
Yeah.
So then that has like limited seating. They put it in. They should have put it in the schoolhouse, which would have had more seats.
Yeah.
Because all the parents and everybody went, so you couldn't really get in.
Yeah. And also we went at the wrong time. Like I thought it was time for Jack Dempsey.
But we couldn't. There were too many parents and stuff. I think that room was too small. That house was too small.
So, but next year, one of the potatoes wants to come as one of the Heinz founders,
Oh, very good.
H.J.
Yeah,
Hines.
yeah.
Because they know, obviously, they know
How
the
did they
history.
come as Zoraida?
By the way, welcome to Matt and Sandy and John and David and Gina and all these fine folks who tune in every Saturday from 9 until noon or thereabouts Mountain Time for the Dave's Gone By Facebookio program of the stream.
You should ask people if there's a potato day or similar harvest festival in their region.
Because, we're not the only place, amazingly enough, that has a potato day. So if you know of, in a town near you, that has an airport, I'm going. Good morning, says Stan. Well, good morning.
Stan's on it. Stan, you're on it.
Stan's way up. Well, it's 11:30
Stan's coming in
New York.
hot. He's coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Welcome, Stan, and welcome everybody.
Ask Stan if there's a potato day in his neck of the woods.
Yeah, Stan or Gina or anybody, have you heard of a potato day, or is there one in the city or town in which you reside or near
Or what's
which?
the weirdest festival in their area?
That would be interesting. By the way, what was your favorite part of Potato Day?
In the morning when it was cool, we got to walk around and see the whole village. I liked the whole landscape of the village.
And people took pictures of me because I was in costume?
They thought you
or
were
with
working, yes.
me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Stan.
I can't see it.
Stan writes,
Uh-oh.
I had Nathan French fries yesterday. Seriously? Seriously, Stan?
At least he's outing himself. That's
That's true. Anyway, it was we stayed about 2.5 hours last week at Potato, because we usually stay about an hour and a half. It gets really hot
Yeah,
and
usually it's
uncomfortable.
super hot. We're fortunate because it's hot now, but we had that little dip in temperature. It was lovely.
It was beautiful. So
And
we stayed until about noon.
even when we could eat the potato and sat in the beer garden, it was beautiful because we weren't in the hot sun. We had a nice, cool time.
Even when you what?
They know it's the deceased potato.
We tell them that when we eat baked potatoes and fries and things like that, the potatoes are already dead. Nobody is killed to make scallop, beanie, or mashed potatoes or what have you, or potato chips. It's just repurposing the body while the spirit of potato stays alive. See, that's right. Stan says, I give the potatoes purpose. Good purpose.
Oh, God, that's so freaking deep.
Yeah. What else? So we've done Potato Day. Yeah, what else happened this week? Anything to talk about?
Oh, it was a good week. We're getting into this is what week coming up in week 4 in this semester.
We are done with week 4.
Really?
We are a quarter of the way through the semester, my dear, unless you count finals week.
Oh.
We are 1/4 done. I know one of my classes is,
That's great.
they just like to open fire on me with military-grade weapons.
We got to get through it.
But my other classes seem to like me, so that's good.
Yeah.
Not that they have to like you, they have to respect you.
Mm-hmm.
But good luck respecting someone like me. But anyway, so that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing is, we didn't talk about this because this happened on the Sunday after our last broadcast 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they had, on Sunday night, the annual, and I think it was the 38th annual Chabad Lubavitch L'chaim to Life Telethon. For us, we just get it on the internet. Back in New York, I think they can still watch it on regular TV. But it's Rabbi Kunin, Shlomo Kunin, and this mix of quote-unquote regular American TV and music celebrities with folks like Mordechai Ben David and extreme Orthodox Jewish performers.
The Rebbitzin.
Oh, well, I showed this to Joyce because the problem now with the telethon, and I'll say this as someone who hasn't given them money in 25 years, but the problem with the telethon now is it's short. It's not on local TV.
It's very overproduced now. It never was that produced. Yeah.
And I'm sorry for saying it's short because it's about 5 hours long still. But
it was
50% is pre-recorded now.
Really?
Like every time they go to a guest, every time they go to a musical performer,
and they bring up the old people.
Yeah, and sometimes they say, "Oh, this is a classic vintage moment of Jan Murray," or I don't know if they do this every year. I don't know if they did. Sid Caesar doing his voices from different countries routine. Ha 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 ha. So a lot of it is pre-recorded, fine. But even the stuff that shouldn't be, they'll go 5 years in the past for a song by David Dudu Fisher, the Broadway and Israeli actor. And it's like, no, get some live people. It's a telethon. Yeah, I don't want to watch something that's so pre-recorded and so put together now, and as Joyce would say, a slick way, to the point where the joy of the early, of the first couple of years of the telethon is that they were just flying by the seats of their taluses. Oh, what do you have there? Do you have a picture?
It'll roll through, yeah. It'll scroll through different pictures.
Oh, here we go. Here, I'll hold this up for the Time to Life telethon.
It'll scroll through them, you see.
There's John Voight. But again, that's from like 15 years ago. John Voight.
Who are they?
Oh, that's the cerebral palsy something
Can
guy.
I see? Yeah, what's that?
And there's Tom Arnold. He sometimes takes part. Yeah, it's the same three pictures. But what happened back in the day when they were first?
Here's the story.
Yeah, let me see. The first telethon aired in 1980.
Whoa.
38 years ago. I was watching this.
And everybody had big poofy hair.
Well, what happened? Tragedy had struck the Chabad houses. There was a devastating fire that swept through their headquarters.
Probably from excessive matzah making.
In Westward California. So the telethon was really about rebuilding after a terrible fire.
Who knew that?
So, do you remember who the original hosts were for the first year?
No.
Jan Murray, of course. He's really good. Jan Murray's very good. And everybody's favorite Jew, actor Carol O'Connor. No, but there was a reason. Carol O'Connor's kid, who you used to see in that show,
in the Heat of the Night. Yeah.
This kid died on drugs.
I didn't realize he died on drugs.
I believe he did. So O'Connor was very into helping Chabad House because that was their main thing. They helped people get off substance abuse.
Really? Nice.
Now they do more, they feed and they do and they whatever, but it was about that mainly. So it received overwhelming response. They had this telethon. And of course, if you realize, hey, we can do this once a year and make money, they're not going to stop, even though they rebuilt after the fire. The thing was, when they would have like a regular Jerry Lewis telethon, they'd have the tote. They'd have the tote boards going up, $240,000, Bezras Hashem, yay, yay, yay. Mm-hmm. When they reached a certain plateau on those early years, they got so excited.
Rabbi's Chabad telethon.
Spontaneously,
here we go.
In the first few times, out of nowhere, they roll up the tote board, and the people who were putting this all together, and the Hasidic guys and the rabbis, would be so excited that they run onto the stage and start dancing, and the band would start playing. Here we go. Here we go.
That's an old one, huh?
They're all old ones now. Actually, that's not so old. And there's Rabbi Cunin, the old guy with the long beard. And there they come. And I think that's John Voight on the right. There they go.
They're talking about the sponsors.
Actually, the guy, that's Larry King. That's Larry King's voice, yeah. So this is what they would do. Of course, no women dancing because they're all Orthodox men. So it's kind of segregated there.
See, they're not organized. The last one.
Oh, we're getting thumbs up for the dancing rabbis. Okay, more. You want to see more dancing rabbis?
Oh, wait.
Oh, Protego wants to dance too. So,
and here you go.
But it was so unexpected, and here's John Voight. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's Carol O'Connor.
It's the best moments of 30 years. Is that doo-doo?
No. No, that's certainly not David Doo-Doo Fisher. This is what you've been missing if you've never seen the telethon, ladies and gentlemen.
I appreciate that.
Who's that?
Dick Shawn.
Since the Blues Brothers broke up.
22 years, 4 months, and 6 hours.
Okay, thanks.
There's Jan Murray with red buttons.
I have a check here from...
Oh, and of course...
where's the Stoli? Mr. Stoley.
Very important. And
Whoops,
if you've
Whoopster.
been Reading
And Tony
magazines
Danza.
and newspapers, you're aware of a new killer on the street called crack. And as long as we have places like this that can take care of kids who want to get straight, we're here to support them.
Ladies and gentlemen, get the phones ringing. Call us, remember, for gosh sake.
Listen, with the rabbi. Incidentally, I just want to tell you, with the rabbi, you don't have to put your sets on. Just open the window.
We have for him a beautiful black hat, and it says inside, John Boyd.
Wow, these are early moments.
And there we go.
Oh, patty cake dancing. Oh, look,
Diamond!
you're getting a lot of love for it, honey.
This is what gave him the Parkinson's.
Look, you got a lot of love. You got love. People giving you
yay.
love.
Oh no.
Oh,
Children as choirs. Kill me now.
look. Stan likes it.
You can't possibly like children's
Stan
choirs.
loves it, yeah. Why are all children actors so affected?
I'm not used to having this microphone. No, you can't. Hasidic. No.
They're attacking. Was that Mary Tyler Moore?
We just had a fire, as you know. That's why we are asking for dough.
Sammy Khan.
That's because they had the fire.
So we are doing this show, and we've got high.
Get it?
Get high hopes,
High
yes.
We've got high hopes. We've got high apple high in the sky. Solo. Just lift the phone and make that call. 'Cause we
I'm
need
lifting the phone.
to put us over the top.
Thank you for supporting this.
Oh,
And I can't resist. May you live long and prosper.
Isn't that nice?
That's
so that
nice.
was
That's
that's a video
That
of
was very
some
touching.
highlights. But that's the problem with the modern version of the
I would
telethon
not
is they'll
call it-
show
yeah,
highlight after
listen,
highlight. Yeah.
Some of them were low lights.
Some of those were low light.
Some of them were no lights.
But what would happen back in the day when they first started doing these telethons is the rabbis and the chassids would come out and dance when they did a
now
toast.
the
Yeah.
last one, it's very orchestrated. It's choreographed.
Not only is it choreographed, they do
Yeah,
it
I
for
don't like
about
that.
40 seconds.
Yeah.
And you sit and
And
dance
it's
for about
choreographed. I hate
it. And immediately they will start
Yes.
talking over it and
Yeah.
say, for your $100 pledge, you get this lovely Yaakov
Yeah.
Agan plate. And
I think in the past they just didn't have a lot of time, a lot of acts. People,
Yeah.
entertainment or guests, or so. I think they filled a lot of time, but now that they're professional, I don't think they fill.
No, but I remember one time when the rabbis they come out dancing and they're dancing and and the rabbi can't stop them. And it goes on for about 20 minutes. Yeah. And literally, so they were actually pushing off famous guests because they wouldn't stop dancing.
Bob Dylan, who? We gotta get, Shlomi.
So, but now it's just so like, whoa, we have this little mini documentary, and here's this from and they had so
It's too
few
produced.
live
It's too produced. Overproduced.
performances, yeah. But they did have, in this one, the Rebbitzin. Now, you have to understand, the Rebbitzin is the woman who is married to the rabbi. That's what a Rebbitzin is. She's been married to Shlomo Kunin for 50-something years, and they have, and I am not exaggerating, this is what they do, they have 13 children together. And so they wheel her out
Oh, God.
in this contraption because she's like a puddle of Jello with the wig, because all the married Jewish women have the wig, and she's looking like Jabba the Yid.
What is it called, the wig?
Shaitel? I'm not, or I could be wrong about that. And the thing is, she's wearing this pink moo frock over her, and it looks like the whole of her. How do you describe this even?
I don't understand it. They made some kind of pillow that they shoved in her. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. I don't understand what they're doing to that woman, but I think we need an intervention.
Because it's a pillow, I guess, or a stand in front of her, but they've covered it with the same material that she's wearing for her dress. So it sort of looks like just there's this head and then giant, enormous pink body in front of her.
Part
and
of it is that square pillow.
Yeah.
She's not. I don't think
she's a little out of it.
A little cognitive, but not completely.
Yeah. I was like, and she's like, Mashiach is here.
Well, they probably tell her what to. The one probably granddaughter kept telling her in her ear what to say. Yeah.
So she says it, and then Q-Wing has to make a joke. Mashiach's here. Why are we even here? We have to go and then prepare. He's making his little Rabbi Q-Wing jokes.
He's a little hyper.
A little. He makes me look like Fred Rogers. Come on. It's like, we need a tote. We need a tote now. It's like, yeah. But that's why...
I hope he doesn't stroke out.
Well, he's charismatic. That's why that Chabad is. That's why we know his name and not 4 million other rabbis in America.
That's true.
12,000 rabbis in America. But we know Shlomo Kunin, right? And Baruch Kunin and all of that. So, yay, joy, happiness. People giving me up smiley faces. Stan is saying, oh, it's a shaitel. It was a thank you, Stan. What's wrong with my phone, Stan? He says, upgrade my... That's your phone.
It's a good phone.
It's a smartphone.
Tell Stan, we teach in a public university. We're lucky we don't have a flip phone.
Yeah, we're like we don't have 2 tin cans with string attached.
Yes.
Which is, by the way, what our smart classrooms are now using.
Yes.
So I talk into one can, and the students...
Wow, you have an advanced classroom, eh?
Oh, yeah.
You remember with Simply Red, Money Too Tight to Mention. That was that. I love that song.
You know, it's kind of weird, and it just worked out this way, I guess, because they know who I am. But I teach 4 classes in 3 different rooms. And all of the rooms have blackboards. Not whiteboards.
Wow.
They have obviously.
It's probably availability of what's just in your. You're teaching a time slot that's very popular, so they probably just find the room where they can.
I'm amazed they don't put me in a. Well, considering me, they should put me in the utility closet.
When I taught at Temple in Philly, one of my classrooms we were below ground, so that was the floor below ground, and you would see the window was grated, had grates on it, and they had police people on horses. And you'd see the horse hoofs go past.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was scary. We're like, it's the apocalypse. It was...
Did any horse ever take a dump?
No, but you're below ground. We'd see bicycles go past people's feet. It was a bizarre deal, yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind. There were times I've stayed in basement rooms and stuff, and as long as there was light above it, I didn't mind. Because you can still see. It's not like a dungeon. You're still seeing daylight.
X-nay on the dungeon.
Well, yeah. The Stephen Sondheim sex dungeon, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
Oh, anyway. What else? Oh my God, it's like 10 to 10. So we talked enough about Chabad, the telethon.
So.
I don't know how much they made.
We got to do Greeley Crimes in all time, and I got to get going, Bobby.
Okie dokie. Well, as I said, we have so much more on this episode.
I call for a tote. Do it.
Look, the potatoes and the tea are dancing together. They're allowed. This is special.
What happened to the light? Look at that. It got like...
Oh.
What's that? Oh.
What the heck is that?
That's divine intervention. What happened there?
It was too much. It was too much for the camera to take.
No,
I'm sorry for that burst.
That's like, look at it. It's like...
Oh, you know what? That's my drool. Yes.
Hey, do with him. Do dancing with me.
Literally, in one of my classes in school, I had 2 girls who were sitting together in the first 2 weeks.
This, help me.
And then the following week...
Now make him dance.
I had these 2 girls sitting together in the first week, and the following week I'm like, hey, you're not sitting there. They're all the way in the back. And I know it's because I'm one of those... No, this is what happens. The shoe comes off. You can't do it. Roller skating potato can't do that.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, Jesus. Wrong telethon.
I'm sorry.
But anywho.
No, Jesus. Oh, Lord.
What else? Oh, yeah.
Greeley Crimes at all times, babe.
Well, because we've got Dave's Big Dictionary coming up. We've got our Saturday Segue of Songs in the News. We've got StoryTime with more Vegetable Friends. We're going to go inside Broadway. We have Colorado Limerick of the Damned. But as Joyce has said, where's my iTunes? One thing that we do every week is tell you about life here in Greeley from a police and sort of an aged perspective. And we call it Greeley Crimes and Old Times. Ba-da-da-da, flirty-oten-dwee-dwee. So yeah, there's a couple of columns in our local newspaper called the Greeley Tribune. that are put together. One is done now by a fellow named Joe Moylan. He does the crime beat stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and they take phone calls that come into the Greeley and Weld County Police Dispatch, and they take the funniest, most ridiculous calls to the police station.
But they're not like life-threatening, we don't think.
Hopefully not.
No.
Hopefully not. And they take the funniest ones, and we take the funniest ones of the funniest ones. There was also a column called Greeley 100 Years Ago that's put together by our great friend Mike Peters, who, that is literally him going through the newspaper back in 1918 and seeing things that are really weird or funny or nostalgic or just odd from our modern perspective. Mm-hmm. So are you ready for Greeley Crimes and Old Times?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Oh, are you ready for an alert that is both an alert and an alert?
Okay.
It's both in one, ladies and gentlemen. So let's try this together before it happens. Okay. Ready? Okay, here we go. It's an let's try. Very good. I hope you were doing that at home.
Yes.
Police responded to D Street.
D?
Letter D, so all the way.
We're gonna walk down
to D Street for a report of baby raccoons stuck in a dumpster. Aww. The caller wanted to know how he could help police, and he asked if it was okay if he shot the mother.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! How would that help? Shoot the mother? It's Bambi.
The caller was told not to shoot the mother raccoon.
Good. What kind of world are we living in?
Oh, that's beautiful. That's the most horrifying thing. Do you know now why that was an alert? Yeah, there you go.
It's actually good they didn't kill him. Wait, then the police came and
I shot the caller. Oh. So that's Greeley Crimes, ladies and gentlemen. Another Greeley crime. Greeley police responded to a car dealership on 47th Avenue. Strange dealership there. Strange exhaust. For a report of a woman wearing, quote, an old school dress with a bonnet and carrying a large stick.
maybe she was lost from Potato Day.
Could be.
One of the actors,
Yeah, I hope she was speaking softly when she was carrying that large stick. That's all I know. Anyway, did you know that the 8th Street Garage received a call for help this week when an auto broke down east of Hardin? They were told it was a 6-passenger auto. But when they got there, 16 people got out of the vehicle. They brought the passengers to Greeley in a truck. And then to the Cirque du Soleil Big Top. 16 people in an auto. I guess back then they were roomy.
Maybe if they're kids, they could put some kids. Maybe. They sat in the back.
That could be.
I don't know.
Maybe they cut some arms and legs off.
That seems horrible.
Yeah. Hey, the government is urging the citizens to eat more wild rabbits.
Ugh.
The new motto is, eat the flesh and save the skin.
Oh, God!
Because I know that would make me want to... That would make me want to chow down on some Hassenpfeffer right there. Eat the flesh and save the skins.
That's recycling.
Because, you know what? In Pennsylvania, it is estimated that 3.5 million wild rabbits were killed and eaten in 1917.
Wow.
Who knew?
But if you don't have other food, you eat what you get.
I mean, I remember that Michael Moore movie, Pets or Meat. I mean, it was sort of some kind of... you make a commentary about it, but you see this woman kill a rabbit, skin it, and it's supposed to be like a bad thing. People eat. It's a rabbit. You eat it. But anywho, police responded to Holiday Village.
Holiday Village?
No idea.
What is that?
Don't know. Maybe for workers who are working at the Village Inn and they need a holiday.
That sounds nice. Holiday Village.
Holiday Village.
Sounds pretty.
Well, maybe not, because the police had to go there to talk with a woman who said someone was trying to kill her.
Oh, no.
She accused dispatchers of treason for not patching her through to the FBI.
Wow. And
she refused to give local police a description of her assailant. Let's not go to Holiday Village.
No, that doesn't seem like a good holiday. That's like bad Holiday Village.
Yeah. Afraid not. Oh my! Get something ready here. No, more than that. We need something big. Hobo alert! Hobo alert! Hobo alert! Police responded to US 34 bypass.
Sounds so romantic.
For a panhandler making sexually suggestive gestures at passing cars.
Ooh, I mean, really? In 90-degree heat, the last thing you want is to make a sexual gesture toward a car.
I know. Well, maybe the cars liked it.
That's true.
You know, the cars are asking for it. Some of them have their tailpipe sticking out. You never...
It's dangerous because that's a big highway.
I know, if he makes a mess, they got wipers.
Where's the bypass?
34, it's where we turn for everything.
The bypass? What's
34, like when you make that 34 thing, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's
anyway.
Not safe, yeah, I hope they're okay.
Let's see. The government... Oh, we got that one. Oh, you're a teacher, or as you say, you're a professor. I'm a teacher. The government... No, why do I keep saying that? Sorry.
You're stuck on the government.
I'm looking at the last one.
Is there something about the government you want
It's about the government.
Tell me what's going on with the government.
There's an advertisement. Here's an advertisement quoting a teacher.
Yeah?
I was afraid I would have to give up my school teaching because of severe stomach, liver, and bowel problems.
Oh, God. Wait. Did they eat at La Luz?
Yeah. I could not use my brain at times.
Of course.
That's not what you use your brain for.
They were pooping.
Then I discovered Mayer's wonderful remedy which cured all my ills.
Nice.
And then I started teaching at UNC and got cancer of the soul.
Oh, God, David.
I'm just kidding.
No.
Kidding. Anyway, so teachers back then, wow.
Yeah, that was a paid advertisement. It's like one of those, what do you call those?
Not an advertorial.
No, the commercials that are like a fake,
testimonial, fake testimonial.
Fake testimonial.
Now, police responded to 30th Street for a report of two men who removed a manhole cover.
Oh, God.
And were lowering bottled water with a rope to women who were either living in or trapped in the sewer.
Wow.
And there was no follow-up to the story.
Number one, you shouldn't live in a sewer.
Really? Why not?
Because it's filled with feces.
Yeah.
And number two, it's nice they were giving them water. That's very kind.
Oh, I know, but like, if you got two women trapped in a sewer.
No, we have people, it's probably like mole people, like in the subways, they're mole people. They live in the subways. I told you my story.
Well, they're like actual mole.
Yeah, they are.
No,
but they have a whole subculture where they live in the subway tunnels, right?
Yeah.
And so one time it was the guy with long beard and wild hair, and he had jumped out in front of the train and they stopped the subway. Because he was obviously having some kind of mental health issue, but he lived in there, and there was a whole group of people that lived in the.
We don't have to call them mole people. They're just people homeless.
Say. Yeah, but they call them mole because they live in the tunnels. I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess these are mole people who need water.
Where was it?
Oh, that's a good question. This was 30th Street. So there's some kind of manhole cover on 30th Street that is liftable by two men.
Wow.
Maybe we should send her down some. We got cookies this week.
Yeah, we can send her some cookies. Yeah, maybe the licorice we don't want.
We have maybe some extra toilet paper. They might need that.
Yeah, the licorice I think is good enough.
Yeah. Anyway, police responded to 18th Street Road. Here's another alert. You ready for this one? Police responded to 18th Street Road for a report of a sick squirrel.
Aww.
With half of its face ripped off. Yeah. Sick squirrel. Oh, half of its face ripped off.
How would you even see that? They're so fast and little.
Well, I guess if it's really sick, it's not all that speedy.
That's true.
It's probably sitting there going, like Phantom of the Squirrel Opera.
Like, maybe we need to do a telethon for them.
Christine, that's all I ask of you.
Oh.
Gathering nuts for the opera house in the winter. I don't know. Anyway, by the way, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, Mountain Time, here in Greeley, Colorado, at the University of Northern Colorado, where I do the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, a program of the stream every Saturday from 9 until noon or thereabouts, Mountain Time. This is our 6th 266th episode of the program, live on this Saturday, September 15th, 2018, with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling and adorable wife, Joyce, and, of course, the Grand Kanish and Papito joining us. And you can leave her, but Mrs. Bakbagak is there, too, our chicken friend. So we welcome everybody. We welcome Stan. Stan went out for bagels.
Oh,
but
good.
he'll be back.
Is he going to bring...
He's letting us know what he's doing every minute.
Is he going to bring us some?
Yeah, you know what? I would love some...
And everything.
And everything bagel, a little bit of butter, Nova Lox, little tomato. You know, and actually a sliver of onion. That would be beautiful. So anyway, welcome to David also. And Stevie! Stevie, who was on our show just a couple of weeks ago.
Hey, Stevie!
Go catch Stevie. He's doing stand-up comedy all over Long Island and the tri-state area.
Stevie G!
Stevie GB, yeah.
GB.
So welcome, Stevie GB, and welcome to David and bunches of other people who
You
commented.
should ask Stevie if he's ever been on the Chabad Telethon.
He should be. Mm-hmm. Well, no, he's Italian.
Doesn't matter. They had Carol O'Connor.
That's true. That's true. Carol O'Connor's Italian, too. Here we go. Are you ready for more Greeley crimes and old times?
Sure.
Police and paramedics.
Oh, God.
Responded to 30th Avenue Court.
Yeah.
For an intoxicated man with no shoes passed out next to the caller's mailbox. You know, I hate it when FedEx doesn't bring the drunken man right to your door.
I know,
so
that's so terrible.
Leave him by the mailbox.
You have to wait to get the key and everything. It's such an ordeal.
Now check this out. I didn't know this was possible. The man had a .420 blood alcohol content.
What's normal?
Well, the normal is 0. Yeah, and then you can go up to I think .1. Or .8 is when you're DUI or drunk.
That's pretty crazy.
He was more than 5 times the legal limit to drive. I don't know how he lived.
Yeah.
And he agreed to go to the Northern Colorado Medical Center for treatment.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Just, again, how do you drink that much in that amount of time to get your alcohol level so that it's what is that 4% of your blood? How does that work out?
I don't know.
I don't know how they test these things. Anyway, police responded to 40th Avenue to speak with a woman. Now, you know, we had just before.
Yeah.
Remember the squirrels, the baby, baby raccoon, the raccoons and the thing, and the caller wanted to help by shooting the mother. Yeah. Now we've got a report of a woman who wanted to know if she could use a BB gun to kill hawks that nest in the trees around her property.
Good hawks.
Would you kill a hawk?
I think hawks are endangered.
I believe, even if they're not. Even if it's a pigeon, you know? Why would you? Why would you? I don't get it.
Maybe she's afraid it'll take her toy dog.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh! Just so you know, I know you were asking about this. Shorty Reed.
Oh, thank God. How's he doing?
We've been asking about Shorty Reed.
Is
Shorty
he an eighth?
He joined the military and was taken for training this week. Hundreds of friends turned out, to tell him goodbye. He's known for his work as a restaurant waiter who had soul and a good share of human intelligence.
Wow.
Oh, that's Shorty Reed. How we miss him so. Yeah. Good
Maybe
stuff.
he went to Mickey Rooney's Potato Fantasy before.
I'll bet he did. By the way, welcome to Robert from my old high school.
Hey, Robert, what's doing?
How you doing, man? And all the folks who are watching and listening to the Dave's Gone By show. So, one thing that we like to do is when we do Greeley Crimes and Old Times, things happen outside of Greeley. And we go elsewhere for a little bit of news. So, we were talking before about Baby P and Doopsie-Doo and Whoopsie-Doo and all that. This is Dateline, New Haven, Connecticut.
That's not that far.
No, well, not far from New York. Well, that's still about 1,500 miles from where we are. More. Duck Nguyen. A fellow named Duck Nguyen, who is the owner of Duck's Place, it's a restaurant in New Haven, was tired of people walking their dogs near his eatery.
Yeah.
Because what they would do is he had a big flower pot outside his restaurant with flour in it, and they would let their dogs pee on the flower right outside the restaurant window. So Duck and Nguyen got fed up. So he put a cute sign in the window. Attention dog owners, This is a pay-per-pea flower pot.
Oh, I like that.
Pay inside or leave your address and we'll return the favor.
Ew.
Yeah. Cool, huh? What do you think happened?
You can't charge that, right?
Well,
I don't know.
Duck Nguyen was fined $250 for putting up the sign, which apparently broke city ordinances about being a public nuisance. Nguyen says he'll appeal. So you got this guy who's fed up with people walking their dogs.
I have a suggestion. Just remove the flower pot.
Why should he have to?
Or put it by the curb.
Yeah, that might be a good... well, then the garbage people will pick it up.
No, you just say no.
But it's just this idea of... I mean, really? Your store, you can't... It's not an offensive sign. There's nothing obscene in it. It's just warning people, pull your dogs away from where people... If people are trying to eat Thai, or what was it? Nguyen would be Vietnamese or Korean. No, probably Vietnamese. So they're eating pho?
I don't know.
And then suddenly there's a dog lifting its leg, and a trickle...
It happens.
...of kimchi coming out of the dog's body. I don't know. Anyway, that was elsewhere.
Wow.
Didn't really get the reaction I was hoping for, but here we go. Police responded to a report of a suspicious noise on 15th Avenue. The caller told dispatchers she had a big gun and was going to check out the noise. She left the gun in her walker when police arrived. I wouldn't shoot an officer, she assured dispatchers.
Good, that's good.
But just in case, she also kept a vial of arsenic in her tooth glass.
Good, I like that. You gotta be prepared.
Yeah, but I don't know. If I go to like some place and there's a 90-year-old woman with a gun in her walker, I think I'd be more scared of that. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh my, get ready.
What?
Ready? Potato alert! Potato alert! Aye, potato! We have a potato alert, ladies and gentlemen, and it's happening now. The high price of grain and potato sacks has created a problem.
Uh-oh.
Young boys are now venturing onto farms and stealing the sacks to be sold later. Several young boys have been apprehended. The sacks, how much do you think a potato sack cost back then?
15 cents.
25.
Ooh!
That's pretty expensive for a potato sack.
Maybe you have to sew them, I don't know.
Worth every penny, Debbie. Worth every friggin' penny. Okay, potato,
wow.
You're right. Oh, man. Interesting stuff. And by the way, we do have potato news coming up very, very shortly. So let's do one or two more of these.
Okay.
And then we'll move on to potato news. But police responded to 40th Avenue. Oh, we did that one, sorry. My eyes are just all over the place today.
Yeah.
Police responded to 6th Avenue and 18th Street.
Uh-oh, we're getting closer.
They needed to chat with a resident who wanted to know if there were any state laws preventing him from kicking his brother out of the house.
I don't think so.
I would imagine not.
No.
I would imagine you're going to have to be your brother's
Unless
keeper
the brother
legally.
had the lease or something, I think you could kick your brother out.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Now, the federal government announced that after December 1st, it will be illegal to make beer in the United States. This new law is being announced as, quote, a war measure. I don't think that's what the citizens are calling it. But,
They'd be very sad.
But didn't we win the war like 3 months later?
Yeah, because we didn't have beer.
Oh, that could be it.
That's why.
Yeah.
Cost no
Yeah.
price.
Now, the first... This is amazing. It's almost hard to think of this. Remember, for Greeley crimes in old times, 1918, the first World Series game was played yesterday
Wow.
in Chicago between the Boston Americans and the Chicago Nationals. There was very little interest in the teams, and few people attended the game. Boston won, 1-0, and the low score reflected the lack of ability of both teams.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. In related news, the 1000th UNC football game will be played later today. Copy, paste, copy, paste.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. That was clever.
Thank you ever so
That
much.
was very clever, the copy-paste part. I like that.
Much appreciated.
Very clever.
Whoa!
What?
We need Mrs. Bakbagak. We need her urgently. More. Chicken alert! Chicken alert! Chicken alert! Ooh, that was important.
That was a lot of effort.
The Farmers Department issued a story that shows chickens need to be fattened more. Before they are sold or cooked for dinner, they should be confined to a coop for a couple of weeks where they get extra food and no exercise.
I believe that's a co-op.
Yeah, exactly. Now, think about this. This was a new idea 100 years ago, and that has turned into animal cruelty. It's turned into raising chickens completely
in cages.
With no room to walk around, and you just fatten them up and kill them because they're fattier and tastier and bigger and plumper.
Funny, you're looking like you want to go to Wing Shack. Yeah,
I do actually. Yeah,
we do.
Hey, by the way, welcome to David from my old high school and Louise.
Oh, Louise Ann!
Yay!
Hey, Louise Ann.
Louise Ann was actually kind enough to comment on that photo spread of me in my potato. And she said I looked like I was having a great time. I was.
Yes, that's your holiday teller.
Oh my goodness, I was. So let's do one more, and then we'll do potato news. Police responded. Here we go. Here's sort of an awe story. Police responded to 81st Street for a report of unwanted kittens. Oh. The caller said 5 kittens were climbing all over her porch. She asked her neighbor if the kittens were hers. Yeah. Because the neighbor had cat food set out on their porch, but the neighbor said no.
They might have been there for the food.
Oh, well,
they might have seen the food
the neighbor might have seen stray kittens and say, "Oh, let me feed them." The caller was told she could trap the kittens and call animal control to pick them up.
She's right across the street from the vet. 81st.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, go across the street, lady.
But the caller said, and here's another alert. So the police told her she could trap the kittens and bring them to the vet 3 blocks away. The caller said, quote, "She would just as soon run them over."
Oh my God!
Than spend her own money to trap them. The caller was advised running over the kittens would be a crime.
Yes.
The caller hung up.
Are people? What are people doing?
I don't know.
What is up with people?
Yeah.
I'd love a kitten.
Would you really?
Yeah.
I like some nice pussy, but it's going to be, ow, 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 she's pinching me, ow, she's hurting me, ow, ow. She got me in my tickle spot. Anyway, we hope we've been tickling your spots, ladies and gentlemen, on the Dave's Gone By Facebook program. We've got story time with more vegetable friends for you. We have a Saturday segue of songs in the news. We have wait, I'm going to need you. Yeah, to help me with my thing. And what else we got? We got our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We have story time with the word Nickelodeon. But right now, my friends, oh my goodness, the Phantom of the Tiger.
Put your arm in the other arm.
I get my arm. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for our almost weekly installment of...
I put a hat on you, David. You can't feel it, but I did.
Potato News! You say potato, I say potato. Let's call the whole thing Potato News! Ladies and gentlemen, it is time, because we're just a week past the wonderful potato... I look like a chicken. Look at my hat thing. I look like a chicken. Oh, there we go. That's better. There you go. I got to get into character here. This is very important. Because, Potato News is red, and the anchor is Spudward Armuro.
I put the potato hat on you.
Oh, much better. There we go.
Is that more? You feeling more?
I am.
Okay.
I feel very newsworthy.
You got to be a method actor. Focus. Method acting.
I feel like a methadone actor. Here we go. Good morning. This is Spudward Armuro with the Potato News for today, September 2018. Dateline, Washington, D.C. Esquire reports that Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh after refusing to shake the hand of the father of the Parkland shooting victim, made a much better decision later on. At dinner, he loves to eat pasta with ketchup. This has led to much consternation among potatoes, who laud Kavanaugh's culinary choices while loathing his right-wing background on politics. Things came to a head when Republican Senator Orrin Hatch praised Kavanaugh by saying, quote, "You are the sort of person many of us would like to have as a friend and a colleague. You also apparently like to eat pasta with ketchup, but nobody is perfect." You dirty SOB, you Senator Hatch, you. Ha ha ha, very funny. May you eat your pasta with belladonna.
Whoa!
Dateline, Kent, England. The Sun reported last week that schoolboy vandals went into Minster Abbey, which was built in the 7th century, and there they drew a giant penis on the floor entirely with ketchup. The young hoodlums also wrote the word Jesus in ketchup next to the drawing, and no matter how the church has tried to clean the carpet, the outline of both the Prince of Peace and the princely penis are still visible.
Whoa.
Also near the altar, a trail of ketchup led to the tomb of Sir Thomas Chain, also covered with the condiment.
Wow.
Church warden Brenda Smith said, "It's so sad. I can't understand why anyone would do this. It's an honor to be covered with ketchup." Well, 2 teenage boys were seen running from the church the night before, and just for some background, the Abbey Church was founded in 664
Whoa.
by Saint Sexburga. So I think we should count ourselves lucky the church was not founded by someone named Saint Cocksuckera. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the potato weather. Sunshine and high heat continue through midweek, so watch those heel burns. There will be some relief on Wednesday night with clouds, rain, and cooler temperatures arriving on Thursday. And, just a reminder, Tuesday night starts the holiday of Yom Kippur, day of prayer and fasting for the Jewish community. That means 24 hours of no potato chips, French fries, or mashed potatoes being consumed. So, let's win one for the Kippur. This has been Potato News with me, Spudward Armaro. Good night and good growth. We do everything here as a public service for you, for our potato friends, and for all of you as well. Here on the Dave's Gone By Facebookio program of the stream, I'm Dave Lefkowitz. My darling and adorable wife must leave us to actually do work and stuff. She teaches here and all that. So I'm going to hug her. Oh yeah. Ooh. I'm going to kiss her a little bit. Okay. Well, if only I brought protection. But anyway, thank you so much, hon, for joining me for the first part of the program. I'll see you later. Just let me know what's happening. I'll let you know what's happening.
You're a super weirdo.
My wife just called me a super weirdo. Thank you, darling. Thank you ever so much.
I say with love.
Coming further on in this broadcast, oh my goodness, we have a Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We've got story time with our vegetable friends. We've got Dave's Big Dictionary with the word Nickelodeon.
Don't forget the word.
Nickelodeon.
Yes.
Yeah, great word. Love you, babe. I'll see you later.
Okay.
And what else? Oh, and a Saturday segue of songs in the news. So if you're just tuning in now, yeah, you missed a lot of fun stuff with me and the missus. But you know what? Remember that you can go to davesgoneby.com. You can listen to the archives of this program. They're all there from our very first episode 15 and a half years ago. We lost a couple owing to some technical difficulties, but basically, out of the 665 previous shows that we've done, about 662 are saved, and they're there for free. You can download them as MP3s, you can stream them on your computers, and even for the last half a year, we've been putting these on video. We've been Facebook videoing them as opposed to just audio podcasts, or as opposed to when we were at the student radio station. So the videos are there as well. So the archives are absolutely amazing. They're free for you. Go to davesgoneby.com, DAVESGONEBY, Daves, like my name, davesgoneby.com. And remember, you can email me, davesgoneby@aol.com, with any messages that maybe you don't want to put on Facebook. You can privately email me, davesgoneby@aol.com, with thoughts, shout-outs, suggestions for future shows, problems you've had with previous shows, whatever it is. And of course, most of all, tell your friends and your family and your enemies and crazy dictators, whoever you happen to run into, that the Dave's Gone By we air live every Saturday morning, and that you can watch us right here on Facebook. The name of the Facebook page is Radio Dave Lefkowitz. Don't just like us, but make sure when you follow us, it says see first. And that way, when we go on the air, in case you're in the middle of breakfast, or you forget on Saturdays, you got other things, and then it's like, oh ho, this is first in my feed. Dave's on! And then you can join us in the Daverhood for Dave's Gone By. Well, we have a ton of theater news to share for you this week in the Daverhood, because we're ramping in to the fall season already. It feels like summer isn't even over, but there's that energy now. There's that feeling that autumn is coming. And so there's a bit of theater news of things changing out of the first part of the season into the fall, and a lot of things to talk about as part of Inside Broadway. Inside Broadway, a look at theater on and off Broadway and beyond. Brought to you by Total Theater and Performing Arts Insider. Curtain going up. Yes, Inside Broadway we go, because, yes, I'm a radio guy and I teach and write, but I've been a theater person for 30 years. A theater critic, a playwright, a director, an actor. So I talk about theater because I love it, and I think it's important to know about. I want to let you know that if you're in New York, in an initiative to get women to vote, there will be a staged reading on tomorrow night, Sunday, September 16th, on Theater Row over on 42nd Street, a staged reading of 12 Angry Men, which is, of course, that classic story, started as actually, I think, a TV show, then became a movie, and then finally got adapted into a play. But they're going to be doing it as a staged reading, and check it out. The 12 Angry Men in this Me Too post-movement moment, they're all going to be women. So those jurors are going to be Kathleen Chalfant, Jen Colella, you remember her from Come From Away, she was Tony nominated, Ariana DeBose, who is Tony nominated, or was this past season for Summer, the Donna Summer musical, Jill Pace, who was in An American in Paris, Anna Villafane, who was really terrific in On Your Feet, the Gloria Estefan musical. They're all so it's going to be an all-female 12 Angry Men, directed by Katie Huffman. Of course, you remember her from The Producers way back when. So, and we know the story. Jurors want to convict this guy, except for one holdout on the jury. If you want to go see it, it's being done on Theater Row tomorrow night, Sunday, September 16th. Hey, he got an EGOT. He got an EGOT. Remember I was talking about Phantom of the Opera before? Well, the guy who co-wrote that, Andrew Lloyd Webber, he is now an EGOT on Sunday, last Sunday, at the Emmy Awards. The live TV broadcast of Jesus Christ Superstar, which was, I didn't get to see it, but it was supposed to be absolutely terrific. I think they showed it on Easter. It won the Emmy for Outstanding Variety Special. So, he now has what is called an EGOT, an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony Award. And there's a limited number of people. I think there's about a dozen folks who are EGOTs now, including Richard Rodgers, Marvin Hamlish, Sir John Gielgud, John Legend, who just became an EGOT this past Emmy broadcast, Mel Brooks, Audrey Hepburn, Mike Nichols, and of course Barbara Streisand are all EGOTs, as is Andrew Lloyd Webber, who, very nicely, apparently on the Emmy program, he paid tribute to the late Craig Zadan. We talked about him 2 weeks ago, this guy who was partially responsible with his working partner, Neil Meron, of bringing back live Broadway shows on TV. And not to mention the movie of Chicago, and I think the movie of Dreamgirls. So Andrew Lloyd Webber very paid tribute to the late Craig Zadan on the Emmy broadcast. So congratulations all around. Want to let you know that our friend of the Daverhood is going to be a very, very rich man pretty soon. His name is David Yazbek, and he wrote the score for a show on Broadway called The Band's Visit. The book is by Itamar Moses. It's directed by David Cromer. I saw it on Broadway. It was my favorite musical, maybe my favorite show of last season. It's marvelous. And, it won the Tony Award, won a whole bunch of Tony Awards. Well, last week, the show recouped its $9 million investment. So it is officially a hit. I tell this all the time, but for those of you who don't speak Broadway speak, a hit has nothing to do with whether critics love a show or whether audiences love it and give it word of mouth. A hit in box office terms means that it paid the investors back. It's in the black. And now The Band's Visit is in the black, so everything else is going to be gravy as long as they make their weekly nut. So congratulations to David Yazbek. And if you've never seen The Band's Visit, do. I mean, it's a popular show. It's not selling out, so you can get tickets to it. And I heartily recommend it. It's the story of this Egyptian police band that's supposed to be playing a concert in a little town in Egypt, but they get the town's name wrong, and they wind up in this absolute nowheresville, dusty, deserty place in Israel. So there's mutual mistrust, but also mutual help and a little bit of romance, too. It's The Band's Visit on Broadway at the Barrymore Theater, and now it is an official hit. Congratulations. Hey, you know what's a hit with me? Oh, my goodness. This little magazine right here, Performing Arts Insider, the Bible of Broadway since 1944. Look at what a good-looking magazine this is. You've got a little, it's not even accurate, it's just a visual, the poster for a show that's going to open in 2 weeks on Broadway, a new play by Teresa Rebeck called Bernhardt Hamlet, about the great actress, Sandra Bernhardt, Sarah Bernhardt, and her decision when she was about 40 years old to play Hamlet. And she kind of got away with it. But this is a play about all of that by Teresa Rebeck. You know her from Spike Heels and from Mauritius and some of her other plays, not to mention a lot of her television writing. But okay, this is the front cover, just the front cover of Performing Arts Insider. Look what else is in here. You've got a list of all the shows currently running on Broadway, a list of all the shows, the days that they're opening in the this current Broadway season, and even into next season. There's a little map of the Broadway Theater District, table of contents over here, and now we move on. Broadway theaters and their tenants. Every single Broadway theater, I'll hold it up closer because you can't really see, and you'll notice the name of the theater, the address, the number of seats it has, what show is currently playing, how long it's playing for, maybe a show that's coming in after that. So you can see right there, Straight White Men is just closing at the Helen Hayes Theater. It'll be followed there by Torch Song, the Harvey Firestein revival. And then you'll see in bold, those are theaters that are kind of open. They don't have a show set for them for a certain period of time. So it's very helpful to producers to have Performing Arts Insider. Look, the guide to press agents, all the folks who handle all the Broadway shows. If you want to contact them, you want to get in touch with an actor or a designer or a director, these are the first folks that you go through, because they're sort of the walls, the security guards, as well as helping get the press in to see these shows when they're about to open. And now we get to the meat of the magazine, the Broadway listings day by day. When are shows starting, previews, opening, and closing. The theater, the press agent handling the show, the box office address, and this is what you can't get anywhere else, folks. The same thing for off and off Broadway. Look at all these shows. These are all the shows that are currently playing off and off Broadway, and how long they're playing until, right? Now we've got the shows that are opening in September. This is the current issue. I'm already working on the October one, but here, shows opening on September 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all the way for the rest of the month. You don't get that anywhere else. A little guide to awards and special events in the theater. And then the big heart of the magazine, every single Broadway show listed with tons of information about it. All the producers, all the actors, directors, designers, their email addresses or the addresses of their managers and agents, when, how long a show is running. See, we're just talking about the band's visit. Look at all that information. The people who wrote it, the director, the choreographer, the set designer, lighting designer, the cast, all those cast names, the plot, some notes about the show, the history, and even the awards that it won, because it won a bunch of Tonys and some Outer Critics Circle and Drama Desk stuff the year before when it was off-Broadway. Every single Broadway show is treated in the same way, and guess what? Guess what? Performing Arts Insider does the same for every single show off and off-Broadway, and off-Broadway, excuse me, as well. The Broadway listings are so long, I had to thumb through all these pages. Look at this. Same thing. Same thing. Look at all these off-Broadway shows. Agnes, Apologia, what does that one say? Arizona Justice, At the Illusionist Table, Avenue Q, still running off-Broadway. So, as you can see, this is an incredibly useful, valuable magazine. So much easier than having to open a zillion windows on your desktop or on your laptop or on your phone. Everything you want to know about every show on, off, and off-Broadway in Performing Arts Insider. As well, we brought back our cabaret listings. And when there's room, we even have rumors of shows that are bound for Broadway in the weeks and years ahead. Want to find out more? Go to performingartsinsider.com, performingartsinsider.com. It's an expensive journal. You know, this is not like People magazine that you get on stands for $3 or $4. But the people who subscribe to Performing Arts Insider renew again and again because they know that's the only place they can get all that incredible information in such a succinct and perfect way. Performing Arts Insider, it is the Bible of Broadway. Brought to you, by the way, by Total Theater, which has something that isn't expensive at all. TotalTheater.com, a free website of theater reviews and articles. Just go to TotalTheater.com and surf. There's a list of every review that we have ever done on the site over the past, I guess, 12 to 15 years. So there's more than 5,000 theater reviews. New York, regional theater, international theater, festivals. Just skim through them. Plus, if you click the What's New button, you can see reviews of all the shows that are still currently running all over America and all over the world. It's TotalTheater.com. And we are totally about theater in this segment of Dave's Gone By. It's called Inside Broadway. We got more Broadway news for you. For example, there's a new comedy that has been announced out of the blue for Broadway this week. It's going to open in April at Broadway's Booth Theater, and it's called Gary, a sequel to Titus Andronicus, which, if you know, it was Shakespeare's first play. And it's a play that is so gory and bloody, it borders on the absurdly comic and ridiculous. This is the one that probably influenced Sweeney Todd on some level, just to give you a bit of a clue. But this is not Titus Andronicus. This is a comedy by Taylor Mack, who is a gender-bending playwright and performance artist. He had the off-Broadway show called Her a year or two ago, H-I-R. Now he's got this play, Gary, but check out the other people associated with this production that's coming to Broadway in April. You've got director George C. Wolfe, who staged the original Angels in America. He also did Shuffle Along a couple of seasons back. It's produced by Scott Rudin, and these are the two stars. I mean, if you're looking for comedy, if you're looking for funny people, starring in Gary on Broadway in April, Nathan Lane, in a very big change of pace from just being in the revival of Angels in America, but of course we all know Nathan Lane doing comedy, and Andrea Martin, of course, from Second City Television. She was on Broadway in Act 1 and in that Candide revival. Nathan Lane, Andrea Martin. Do pairings get better than that? So Gary, what is Gary about, by the way? It's a comic sequel to Titus Andronicus, wherein two servants, played by Nathan Lane and Andrea Martin, clean up the bodies after the gruesome events of the Shakespearean drama. So that's happening in April at Broadway's Booth Theater. Oh my gosh, I wish I could get my tickets right now. Now, that's a show that's opening this time of year, as things start to move towards all the big Broadway shows opening in late September and October. Other things have to close. It's the cyclical nature of the beast. So we actually have 3 Broadway shows closing this weekend. Count them 3. One of them is the revival of Carousel, directed by Jack O'Brien. That is being done at the Imperial Theater. It opened in mid-April. Got some pretty good reviews. I saw it, and it was very good. It wasn't a life-changing or soul-changing revival of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Carousel, but it was still very watchable and was touching at points, and some of the dancing was terrific, and some of the singing, oh my God, Joshua Henry as Billy Bigelow, you gotta hear that voice. For my taste, and I guess for the taste of some other folks, he didn't really have that sexual chemistry charge with Jessie Mueller, as not Carrie, she plays Julie Jordan. So I think that was kind of missing, and it was. I think the set design was a little gray and grim for the proceedings for a 3-hour musical, and it was just. I think it had the bad luck to be up against My Fair Lady, because My Fair Lady just sort of got more of the interest and the press. Not all of the great reviews, but some of the better reviews, and Carousel for the season kind of got left in the dust. So I think they probably expected it to do better than it did. But still, hey, you want to make up your own mind, and it's one of the greatest scores in the history of the American musical. You have until tomorrow to see Carousel at the Imperial Theater. And by the way, just for my money, Alexander Gemignani is the best Mr. Snow ever. Okay, just saying. But, so that's one show closing. There's another show closing. This one, people didn't even expect this one to open, but it did. It was Getting the Band Back Together, which closes tomorrow at the Belasco Theater on Broadway. It's got a score by Mark Allen and a book by producer Ken Davenport and some people called the Grundleshots. Anyway, and it's supposed to be this cute thing about these middle-aged guys who are in a band together, and they're getting a band back together now that they're in middle age. Critics they went in expecting to hate it. They hated it. They kind of like Marilu Henner, who's the only star in there, and she does a playful turn as the leading man's mom. But, they said the lyrics were kind of generic. The power pop metal sort of songs were meh. And they really bitched that the storyline was overly familiar. It was like a mash-up of, what was it, School of Rock, Rock of Ages, and there just wasn't enough original comedy or storytelling going on. And to my mind, it's also this season's Escape to Margaritaville, a show that probably has a built-in niche audience that would come for it for months at a time if they did it off-Broadway at, like, New World Stages. But because they opened it on Broadway, in the glare of the critics and having to go up against other kinds of musicals and more serious pieces or comical pieces with more of an old-fashioned musical theater bent, critics went in with their noses held high and plugged up, didn't like what they saw, and audiences tend to like and enjoy a lot of flops, but this one was a pretty big flop. But if you're curious about it, the show is playing at the Belasco through tomorrow. And by the way, they've already picked the next tenant at that theater. It's going to be Network. Remember that movie? They've turned that into a play, which is going to star Bryan Cranston and Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black. So they got a big tenant coming in to the Belasco once Getting the Band Back Together falls apart. And then, yes, there is one more. And this one I don't understand. I mean, Getting the Band Back Together, you knew that was going to flop. Carousel probably should have been a big hit, and just something somehow missed along the way. Okay, this one felt like a real hit. But nope, there's going to be no more nautical nonsense. Tina Landau's staging of SpongeBob SquarePants, the musical, on Broadway, closes tomorrow at the Palace Theater. It opened back in December. The critics liked it a lot more than they thought they would. This is a show that they probably also went in expecting to dislike. The critics saw, SpongeBob SquarePants, great. Franchise musical, cartoon, get the kids in, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be all that good. They might as well do it on ice. But they went in and they saw Tina Landau's work, and unfortunately, I have not gotten to see the show. I wish I did. Apparently, there's an incredible amount of cleverness in the staging. The book is cute. The story is well told. There's some great performances. And yet... And here's the deal. This show at a certain point was making or grossing $1 million a week, it's still in the $800,000 to $900,000 a week gross range. So somebody just did some wrong accounting on this show. I can understand if it was sitting there with $400,000, $500,000 a week grosses and not making its weekly nut, which means the operating costs to pay the actors, to press and clean the costumes, to hire all the people that you got to keep on staff, to advertise and market the show. I get that it costs an insane amount of money nowadays to do that for a show. But you should be able to make a musical, even a big one, sail along at $600,000 or $700,000 a week in grosses and start to go towards at least paying investors back and hitting the black. This show was making $800,000 or $900,000 week after week after week, and yet producers still felt that they couldn't pay their investors back, or there wasn't enough advance sales, and they're closing SpongeBob SquarePants tomorrow. I just, don't get it. And the songs, apparently, they're good. They fit the musical, even though they're written by people as disparate as Cyndi Lauper, the folks from Aerosmith, David Bowie, and the aforementioned John Legend. It's got a plot about SpongeBob saving Bikini Bottom from annihilation. I guess the only good takeaway from all of this is if they bring this thing on tour in a significantly cheaper way, it should clean up, and they certainly have good reviews to post to go on. It made a Broadway name of Ethan Slater, who plays SpongeBob, so now he's like a Broadway known guy. Gavin Lee got some good attention for playing Squidward, and on the Tonys they did his dance of the multi-leg dance. Didn't save the show anyway at the box office. I don't know. If I were in New York, I would make sure to see SpongeBob SquarePants tonight or tomorrow before it goes away. Now, I know this is Inside Broadway, we talk about New York theater, but I'm here in Colorado. I'm in Greeley, about an hour and a half drive from Denver. Something that's happening in our neck of the woods might be interesting for our local theater people. Potted Potter is coming to Denver's Newman Center. It was a hit in the UK. It played off-Broadway a few years back, and now it will be at the Newman Center on Iliff Avenue from September 18th through the 23rd. And it's kind of like, remember, the Reduced Shakespeare Company would take the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged, and they did it with the Bible. These folks do it with Harry Potter's 7 books and condense them into 70 minutes. Now, there's also another off-Broadway show called Puffs, where they did kind of the same thing. This is a different show. This is called Potted Potter, and they warn that tickets are already 3/4 sold out for the Denver run at the Newman Center of Potted Potter. So get your tickets today. I want to let you know that there's more casting for the Glenda Jackson King Lear that's coming to Broadway in the spring. Check out who they got for other people in the Shakespeare play. You've got Elizabeth Marvel, terrific actress. She's going to be playing Goneril. Jane Houdyshell is Gloucester. It's a gender bending, right? Ruth Wilson is playing both Cordelia and the Fool. Rather interesting. And I don't know this actress. Aisling O'Sullivan will be Reagan. This is happening. It's going to be a limited run from April 4th to July 7th at the John Golden Theater on Broadway. Of course, Glenda Jackson coming off her Tony-winning triumph in 3 Tall Women last season, and about 25 years where she wasn't really acting because she was in the House of Parliament in England. So it's your opportunities to see King Lear, directed by Sam Gold, who directed the Tony-winning Fun Home musical, and they've also announced this week that the incidental music for the play will be by Philip Glass, the well-known classical composer, the guy who did Einstein on the Beach. So if you're interested in seeing Glenda Jackson, she's certainly being surrounded by other notables in King Lear. Well, we lost a queen this week on Broadway. Someone who was up there pretty much on the diva level. Kind of sad, I would say shocking news, but she had been ill for a while. Marin Maisie passed away on Thursday at the age of 57 years old after a 3-year battle with ovarian cancer. Marin Maisie Started singing in church choirs when she was a kid, got a theater degree from Western Michigan University, and then she got her first off-Broadway gig as a cast replacement in The Kander and Ebb Show and The World Goes Round, and then she went on the national tour of that off-Broadway hit. She got replacement work in the original Broadway productions of Big River and Into the Woods, and then she got her first really mega huge Broadway role as the co-star in Stephen Sondheim's 1994 musical Passion, and then she got to play the mother in Ragtime, the original staging of Ragtime. And then my favorite performance of hers, and the thing I'll remember her for, she was in a terrific Kiss Me Kate opposite Brian Stokes Mitchell back in 1999. She then replaced Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio in Man of La Mancha, again appearing opposite Stokes. That was in 2003. She got to appear on Broadway opposite her real-life husband, Jason Daniele, in the play Enron, and she was also in that Woody Allen-based flop, Bullets Over Broadway. She went into the King and I revival in 2015 as Anna. She's a 3-time Tony nominee, and she was inducted into the Theater Hall of Fame in 2017. And as I said, she's been battling cancer the past 3 years, but still performing in spite of it. As a matter of fact, she was off Broadway this year in January and February in the Terrence McNally play Fire and Ice at Classic Stage Company. So it's every actor on Broadway tweeted and posted stuff on Facebook saying, oh my God, what a loss, and the Angels have a new singer up there in heaven. Very, very sad to lose Marin Mazzie. And so, again, it bugs me that because of Facebook rules and YouTube rules, I can't play an entire song because I'll just get cut off. But I want you to hear a little bit of Marin Mazzie. This is a song called, let me see, where did it come from? This is from the original Ragtime cast. Marin Mazzie singing a song called Goodbye, My Love, and goodbye to you, Marin Mazzie.
Goodbye, my love, God bless you. And I suppose bless America too.
Yeah, sorry, but that's already 40 seconds in. I'm sure Facebook will give me a warning notice. Forgive me. You know what? The nice thing is, when you listen to the archives of Dave's Gone By on my website, on davesgoneby.com, we put in more of the song in good sound audio quality. We don't muck it. We don't take the video and change it, but we can take the audio track, because we are a podcast, we are a radio show, so we'll play the song, and you can hear it, which would be rather nice. Anyway, farewell to Marin Mazzie, and farewell to the Inside Broadway segment of Dave's Gone By on this Saturday, September 15th, 2018. It is our 666th episode of the show. That's right, it is, as they say, oh, look, we actually have, this is really appropriate. Look at this. Oh, Sign of the Beast. Sam Kinison. 666. Whatever the hell that means. But one thing that we've been doing over the past bunch of episodes, past 2 or 3 months, is a segment called Colorado Limericks of the Damned. And what that is every week we do a little 5-line poem that has to do with some town or city in Colorado. And since it's a limerick, the whole idea is to make them as filthy and obscene and disgusting as possible. So if you have children in the room, just throw them out in the street, let them play in traffic for just about a minute, and then you can bring them back in for the rest of the show. But we do these Colorado Limericks of the Damned, and today's special town, our special place in Colorado, is going to be Breckenridge. Yeah, I had fun trying to rhyme that one. Breckenridge, Colorado. It's a vacation-style town in Summit County, Colorado. It's got about 5,000 people in it. Wintertime brings the skiers. Summer brings the fishermen. There's also a film festival and a snow festival, which celebrates the Norse god Ullr. Well, that's the snow festival. Those of you who worship the snow god, this is the place to be. And Breckenridge is a very scenic and beautiful place, at least according to the photos I've seen. It was founded in 1859 and named after then Vice President John C. Breckenridge. I mean, no, it's amazing how nobody remembers vice presidents, man. Except for maybe the past 20, 30 years. Who? What? 1859. I guess he was under, would it have been Lincoln? Or the guy before him? Anyway, when the Civil War broke out, John Breckenridge sided with the South. So after the war, they changed the spelling of Breckenridge, Colorado, from Breckenridge with an I to Breckenridge with an E. Okay. And if you want to see Breckenridge, Colorado on film, just go watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and the movie Dumb and Dumberer. Those were partially shot in Breckenridge, Colorado. So with all that information for you, now let us get to our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
You're the poetry man.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick.
Rocky Mountain, Colorado.
Yes, indeed, we've got limericks for you, or this particular limerick, about the town of Breckenridge, Colorado. And as I said, do you have to hide the kid? Oh my God, I forgot to change the poem out. I still have my poem from last week about Boulder, Colorado. Oh no, I did all that research on Breckenridge. Shame on me. Dave, do your homework. I better go find it. This is so terribly shameful of me. Let's see if I can find it rather quickly for you. Go talk amongst yourselves. Go, let's see how long this takes me. How long of dead air time. And I'm sorry about the clicking and the clacking. Aha, here we go. I'm getting there. Let's see if I've got... Here I'm close. I am close, I think. Oh boy! This took a lot less time than I thought it would. Okay, my apologies, but I am now ready to share with you a Colorado limerick of the damned for the town of Breckenridge. One thing I would never have reckoned is, how weird is that geezer in Breckenridge? He keeps his wife's hair in an old Frigidaire and keeps both her legs in a second fridge. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is our... Wasn't that worth waiting for? That was our Colorado Limerick of the Damned for Saturday, September 15th, 2018. Our 665th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio program of the stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz. For more about me, by the way, I found that so quickly because I have an archive of all the theater reviews I've written, all my one-act plays, all my plays, and I'm even compiling all the theater articles that I've done and interviews with like famous people. It's all at davelefkowitz.com. So if you just go to davelefkowitz.com, there's a whole list of stuff that I've written, and I keep adding more from my 54 years on this planet. So go, enjoy, but not right now, because stay with us for more of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio show. By the way, welcome to Nate and Howard and Ashley and Annette and Wayne and all the other folks who've been tuning in since the beginning. We've got a Saturday segue of songs in the news coming up. We also have Dave's Big Dictionary in just a little while, where the word I will be dealing with is Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon, that's coming up as well. We'll also do the Friends of the Daverhood, but before we get to that, oh boy, you can bring the children back in, because it's time for story time.
Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story. Remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would. You gotta give in, so I'll be good. Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed.
Yes, I will tell you a story. The story that we started last week here on Dave's Gone By, Vegetable Friends, written by Bruce Kosiamba and Tony Lawler, illustrated, by the way, by Barry Duncan, because they have these adorable illustrations. Now, of course, as you know, we had Potato News before, and I was telling you about going to Potato Day last week in Greeley, Colorado. Here's the guy who started it all. This is him, one of the many hymns for Potato Day. Yay. This is our special Grand Knish, if you haven't noticed. But we've got potatoes all over the room in case you've been looking behind me. So last week, we told the story of Spud's potato, right, from this book, and how you basically chop him into pieces to make more of him. When, I don't even want to get into the psychology of what that tells children. And now, as we said, here he's rolling away in a band, kind of like the end of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We move then to his friend Corny on the cob. Yes, we saw that last week. There he is. And again, it's sort of this masochistic idea of tearing off pieces of himself for people to eat, because he's so delicious. Well, there's more to this sick book called Vegetable Friends, and we're going to do that today. We get to our next vegetable in story time, and look, it's Moy Mushroom, my friends. There he is. I'm in my Joe Franklin mode. Sitting on a ton of his dead ancestors. There's Moy Mushroom. Let's read about him. My name is Moy Mushroom. I'm from a mushroom town called Moy. Yeah, some really creative writing here. It's a name I've been explaining since I was a little boy. Oh, look at this. He's playing in his little sandbox over there with fresh mushrooms. He's squatting on his... It's basically a bully, because he's sitting on other mushrooms and keeping them down, and keeping all these other mushrooms around him in line. So that's old Moy there. Let's find out more about Moy Mushroom, shall we? We shall. A mushroom is not like other plants. It has no leaves or roots. Some look like little cups or balls. Some look like parachutes. So here we have a bit of what that looks like, of how different mushrooms look. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing the ones that look like balls, my friends. So if you hold a couple of mushrooms and you go cough. Other mushrooms look like shelves and grow upon a tree. You know that we're not all alike. We're quite interesting, you see. So here's one. They got a little Mexican mushroom over by that tree taking a siesta. And then there's these poisonous ones that you don't necessarily want to put in your casseroles. And then, what are these? These are rather pleasant. And something along like a Japanese mushroom fungi. Yeah. Well, that's why you invite mushrooms to a party, because you know they're going to be fungi. Yeah, okay. I know you know that joke. Where old jokes go to die, the Dave's Gone By Facebook program. Here we go. Oh, look, here's a big giant. Look at that. Moy is really excited about these fellas. Oh, boy. Underneath the mushroom caps are gills, like little doors. I did not know those were called gills. I had no idea. So, because they look like fish sort of gills. At the right time, they will open up and drop out little spores. So I guess that's how mushrooms reproduce. Look at them. They don't have the fun of going to a hotel room, on vacation in Hawaii and doing it that way. No, they just sort of open their gills and drop snot on the ground. The spores are little tiny seeds. They fall into the ground. They soon grow into mushrooms, and many can be found. See, it's like magic, children. It's like magical mushrooms that grow in the ground, and then you can kind of lick them, and your brain goes to a very interesting place. There it is. Aha. Dum-da-dum-da-dum. What's next? Most mushrooms are really good to eat, but some wild ones make you sick. If you don't know which ones are good, it's better not to pick. Yeah. Same thing with noses. So look. See, this is a very, very good thing here. See, so you've got the good mushroom. I'm going to try and open this up a little more. And you've got the bad mushroom. Ooh, bad, evil, communist red mushroom there. So we only eat good, actually grammatically it should be we eat only, but we only eat good mushrooms we find inside the store. Try us with all kinds of foods. You'll like us even more. And so here we got kind of a cool thing. We got mushroom soup. Got a can of that over there, which I can't really reach. I got some sort of mushroom mush. mushrooms, I guess, on spaghetti, and again, what is that, calamari? What the hell is that? I don't know. It's got whiskers. Something I would not touch. Probably the raccoon that the woman wanted to shoot earlier. So there's Moy Mushroom telling us all about his life and times as a vegetable. We have another vegetable for you, and this is Potato's favorite. Potato, are you ready? Oh yeah, bring it on, Debbie. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's ripe tomato! Oh hell yeah! Look at him on his mound of friends, and then watering his tomato bushes, plants. Hi, I'm ripe tomato. As it just so happens, I forgot we had this. Oh my goodness. Look who's going to join us. We have him. He's here with us. We have Tomato. Wow. I really don't know what kind of voice I would do for him, but yeah, he's sort of got the gooier thing going on, and he's not the brightest vegetable in the bunch, but oh, he is oh so cute. There's vegetable. There's Tomato. Ripe Tomato. That's his name, because I couldn't think of, like, Tommy or, Timmy, Terry, Tina Tomato. No, it's got to be Ripe Tomato. Anyway. Hi, I'm Ripe Tomato. Ah! I should grow on a tree. Though people think we're vegetables, I am a fruit, you see. Okay? First of all, your sexual preference is none of my business, but at the same time, please note the name of the book. What are you doing? If you are a fruit, why are you growing in here? And I know you have seeds. This is very, very, very confusing. He says he should grow on a tree, except they grow on a branch. Maybe he'll explain, because this is now really, really confusing me. I don't know where to begin with this tomato. I honestly don't. You know that all tomatoes start from little seeds. The farmer plants them in a box that he waters and he feeds. Here's the farmer doing his thing. Yeah, he's watering it. The dogs can come by and pee on the little pot there, and there's our little tomato friend. Just move my hand up to there. Cool. Now, what a playful tomato he is. Look at this. Look. He's having fun with the farmer guy, and that's why he's going to get cut up for salad in a couple of hours. Something happens to the seeds. To little plants they grow. Then the farmer moves the plants, and in the ground they go. So, that's what happens, of course, to, they start with little boxed things. The farmer puts them in the ground, and they grow into big, beautiful, overweight tomatoes. Here we go. He waters them and feeds them till the plants grow big. Sorry. He waters them and feeds them till the plants grow big and tall, and soon they start appearing tomatoes, green and small. Yeah! See, why I can't make up in comedy, I do in noise. But you see, tomatoes pointing right there to the farmer watering and gardening and planting, and there's a happy little sun, happy little cloud. It's a little cloud. You can draw it any way you want to. Yeah. Soon it's time to pick them because they're big and red. Let's drive them to the grocery store. That's what the farmer said. Yeah, actually, of course, this book doesn't take into account that farmers are being paid not to grow tomatoes and to sort of leave their farms fallow because of the tariff thing. But for some reason, they didn't go into that in this book. So that's ripe tomato. Do we have a little bit more about... Oh, we do. A little bit more about tomato here. The farmer drives them to the man. There he is, honest to gosh. The farmer, let's get him over here, drives them to the man who owns the grocery store. That's where you buy tomatoes, other veggies, and lots more. See, there's the farmer taking them to what really honestly looks like Sprouts, a local Sprouts market. And then you've got the grocer over here, who feels like it's like a gun in your pocket. You're happy to see me because he's got his hands up. And I think he has to buy those tomatoes or else. I think that's the arrangement that they have. And finally, you should always eat tomatoes because we're good for you. We look great in dinner salads, and we taste great too. And here we have a rather scary, very scary group of people. We've got the grocer who doesn't have eyeballs. You have this kid who's just dropping tomatoes on the floor and squashing them, which is kind of cruelty. You have this girl in a peasant dress, and she's also dropping tomatoes. And then here he is saying, "Everybody, I taste delicious. Eat me, eat my friends, eat my family." Some sick shit going on here, ladies and gentlemen, with the Vegetable Friends from Bruce Kosiamba and Tony Lawler. We have a couple more, but I think I'll save them for next time, for the next episode, just because it's such a page-turner to keep you following this show. It's Vegetable Friends as part of Storytime on Dave's Gone By. Well, it's about 6 minutes after 11 in the morning, Mountain Time, here in Greeley, Colorado, from the University of Northern Colorado and my office with all my potato friends here on the week after Potato Day. It's our 666th episode. We've been calling it Death Grip. Actually, 666 is more of a beast thing, but that's what I'm calling it. Death Grip here on Dave's Gone By. And what else? What else do we have to do for you? Oh, we've got Dave's Big Dick Dictionary coming, as well as a Saturday segue of songs in the news. Before that, though, I once again, I want to thank my darling and adorable wife, Joyce, for being with us in the Daverhood earlier. She's with me pretty much every show, and she helps me with Greeley Crimes and Old Times, and sometimes Potato News, and it's so great to have her. It's also great to have special guests in the Daverhood as well. Now, this week, it's just me. It's just me and her. I'm real busy with school and the holidays. I don't necessarily have the time to go find a guest for every episode of the show. But you'll know if you look in our archives that we have had hundreds of amazing guests on the program. Some of them famous, some of them not. And so we like to keep tabs on them. We call them the Friends of the Daverhood because they're folks who appeared on the show. They've graced us with their presence. And usually when they're here, they're working on some project. They've written a book. They're on Broadway, off Broadway. They've got an album out. And then a couple of years go by, they're doing something else. So since they're friends and family, we like to let you know what they're up to, these Friends of the Daverhood. Okay, we'll have a little music playing underneath that for our Friends of the Daverhood for this Saturday. And those include Chuck Muckle, maybe the greatest name in history. The actor, the director, Chuck Muckle, is directing... That's too loud. Gotta lower that music a little bit. Hold on. Sorry, Haydn. It's time to hide and go seek. Do that a little more. Much better. Okay. Well, Chuck Muckle is directing an excerpt of a gay drama called Flower of Idaho as part of New York New Works Theater Festival, and that is today at the Acorn Theater on Theater Row. And you all know Theater Row. It's between 9th and 10th Avenues on West 42nd Street in Manhattan. Chuck Muckle. Let's all say that together, shall we? Chuck Muckle. Make me chuckle. Anyway, also tonight at the Tarrytown Music Hall, which I've never been to, but it's only 40 minutes outside Manhattan on Metro North. So if you want to get on that train, you can see Tom Rush and our friend of the Daverhood, David Bromberg, playing tonight, Saturday, at the Tarrytown Music Hall. Or if you're in Pleasantville, New York, which I think is also north and Metro Northy, you can see our friend Sally Mays, the actress and singer and cabaret songstress. Sally Mays is at Arc Stages in Pleasantville, New York. For more information, go to arcstages.org. At the Goodman Theater in Chicago, friends of ours who are in the middle of the country, by all means, go see David Cale's new solo show with music, We're Only Alive for a Short Amount of Time, and it's directed by the artistic director of the Goodman Theater, Robert Falls. So that is running from Saturday, today, all the way through the middle of October. We're Only Alive for a Short Amount of Time by David Cale at the Goodman. Want to let you know that tomorrow, the comedian Gallagher will be in Greeley at the Moxie Theater. So you can see Gallagher right here. Bring your goggles, bring your watermelon smashers. It's Gallagher. And then happening this Wednesday, September 19th, as part of the United Solo Festival. There's a play written and performed by Ann Stockton called I Won't Be In on Monday, and it's directed by... Alert! Alert! It's our Austin Pendleton alert! Oh, no, let's find another noise for that. That'll do. It's our Austin Pendleton alert because he's ubiquitous. He pops up every week. And in this case, he's directing this solo show by Ann Stockton, I Won't Be In on Monday, that she's doing Wednesday night as part of the United Solo Festival. Also, starting on Wednesday night and running through Saturday, Ann Hampton Calloway sings Linda Ronstadt at Feinstein's 54 Below in Manhattan. Now, I mentioned before, Stevie GB, the comedian, had tuned in to this program. Well, he will be at Little Bit of Heaven in East Northport this Friday night. Go see Stevie GB, very fun guy. And then Graham Parker, the rock performer, also on Friday night, his new album drops. It's called Cloud Symbols, and you can find out more about it and buy it at grahamparker.net. And then also on Friday, opening in limited theaters nationwide, a new movie directed by Ari Gold. It's called The Song of Sway Lake, and they're going to debut it on Friday, and then next week it goes into video on demand, where everybody can see it everywhere. It's The Song of Sway Lake, directed by Ari Gold. And then, we just mentioned Loudon Wainwright III. I want to let you know, I know this is a week away, but next Saturday, he's playing in Loveland at the Rialto. And I'm going to figure out a way to go see that, because I want to see Loudon Wainwright III in Loveland next Saturday evening. Now, through early October, Alan Lewis Rickman is still playing Tevye Served Raw. That is at the Playroom on West 46th Street. And then Tamara Tooney is taking part in a piece called Antigone in Ferguson. It's a reading with music at Harlem Stage that is happening through the middle of October. Also, now through October 14th, the tryout of Tootsie, the musical. It's already bound for Broadway. We know it's coming up in the spring, but they're trying it out in Chicago. Tootsie, which has music by our friend David Yazbek, and it also features Julie Holston in the cast. Should be a lot of fun. It just started performances in Chicago, Tootsie, and you can see it there before it comes to New York up through the middle of October. Now, another Austin Pendleton alert. Let's try this one. Oh, that wasn't good. Oh, the battery died in this one. Well, that's not good. We have to get a different noise for Austin Pendleton. Yes, indeed. Austin Pendleton, he is directing Tennessee Williams' play A Lovely Sunday for Crève Coeur, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, at the theater at St. Clement's La Femme Theater. What? Okay, it's the La Femme Theater Company at the Theater for St. Clement's. And check out the cast. Christine Nielsen, who's very, very funny, and Annette O'Toole. They are both in this Tennessee Williams revival, directed by Austin Pendleton, playing now through October 21st. Now through October 25th, it's that Yiddish Fiddler on the Roof, which has musical direction by Zalman Lotek, not to mention lyrics by Sheldon Harnick. Now through the end of October, Desperate Measures at the York Theater, which has music by David Friedman. School of Rock, co-written by Glenn Slater. That is at the Winter Garden Theater up through mid-January. We mentioned the band's visit before. We mentioned Come From Away before, which is written by our friends Irene Sankoff and David Hine. LaChanze is playing one of the Donnas in the Donna Summer Musical at the Lunt-Fontanne Theater. Daniel Breaker is playing Aaron Burr on Broadway in Hamilton. And then moving away from Broadway, you've got Jim Caruso's Cast Party every Monday night at Birdland. We've got the wonderful website StageBuddy.com, which is founded and edited by our friend Evan Seplow. You've got Dr. Demento doing new Dr. Demento shows at his website, drdemento.com. Eva Heinemann hosts High Drama on Manhattan Cable Television, which is also where Charlie Gross and Leslie Hoban Blake, they co-host Two on the Aisle Thursday nights, and you can watch it anywhere at mnn.org. MNN.org. Finally, Bob Cudmore, still doing podcasts about upstate New York history at bobcudmore.com. And you're going to want to read Will Mannis's reviews of Los Angeles theater at totaltheater.com. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. Dum, dum. Whew, okay. Well, it is 11:15 Mountain Time here on this Saturday, September 15th, 2018. Dave Lefkowitz here doing the Dave's Gone By program for you. We still have a Saturday segue of songs in the news, which will be great because without Rabbi Saul talking to a guest this week, I'm just talking and I'm like, But it's good talk, I hope. I hope you're enjoying it and getting some laughs and getting some fun out of it. But yeah, we'll play a bit of music in a little while. But first, let's get to our wonderful segment called Dave's Big Dictionary. This is where, early in the program, my darling and adorable wife Joyce took her finger and ran it at random into this happy little book, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. And so found the word, and then my job later in the program is to think of something to talk about the word. What, anything that comes into my head, some anecdote, some story, some autobiographical incident, something that relates to the word to me. And there's nothing predestined or predetermined about it. She finds a word, I've got to talk about it. Usually I have a little time about a few minutes to walk around and clear my head and think of what to talk about. But the good news is that she picked a word that, so many things came to mind immediately. Because the word that she picked was Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon. I'll actually reread the official definition on that. Nickelodeon. A noun, an early movie theater into which admission cost 5 cents, or a jukebox, which, we haven't used it in that context in a long time, but it can be either one. And also, they don't even mention, because it's a small dictionary, that Nickelodeon was and may still be the kids' TV channel. And I remember when, in the early days of having cable television, well, actually, I'm already starting, so let me make sure I play the intro theme.
Extra, tell all about it. It's Dave's Big Dictionary.
Yes, indeed. Dave's Big Dictionary, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about Nickelodeon and just remembering, what were the shows on there? Everybody seems to remember you can't do that on television anymore. Because it was sort of a mix of laugh-in style blackout bits and sketches specifically designed for kids. And I was already kind of too old for the demographic to be watching it, but I did, because it was a cable channel back when there were only 50 channels instead of 5,000. And it was kind of cool. The kids were having fun, and they got the green slime. It became the trademark, if you will, of Nickelodeon. I'm someone who hates getting messy and dirty and mud and bleh, and so I always literally cringe when somebody would be standing there and they just pour this bucket of green slime on them. But they started doing that on the Nickelodeon Awards, and it became a meme. It became a thing. So I don't know if Nickelodeon still exists. I think it morphed into something else like Kids Network or Kids Channels. I think it's a shame because now they have a lot of sitcoms for the 8 to 15-year-old set, right? The ones that aren't on Channel 2, because all the grown-up sitcoms now are full of double entendres and sexual things and relationship things. There's no PG sitcoms anymore, or G-rated sitcoms anymore on the major networks in the evening. So it's fine that they've got special sitcoms that Disney does, that these adolescent channels do, where kids can watch the form of a sitcom and like the characters and get some laughs and so forth. But I hope there's still sketch comedy for that set. Even if it's dumb, even if it's kind of real silly, as I said, laugh-in style blackouts, and so forth. But, yeah, just the idea of kids coming home from school after a long day, and kids have more to do than they ever did. More homework, more out-of-school activities that probably work in little quick jobs and stuff. They got to take care of little brothers and sisters. So for a half hour, they can sit down in front of the TV and get some harmless, silly, slapsticky laughs. And I respect that about you can't do that on television and the stuff that was on Nickelodeon back in the day. And I think they also started with, before Cartoon Network, they were doing the stuff like Rugrats and pretty cool cartoons for kids. I don't know if Ren and Stimpy started there. I think they might have. So that's one aspect of Nickelodeon, but not the one that I was going to talk to you about, because Joyce immediately brought this up when she was here, and she started singing the Teresa Brewer hit, "Put another nickel in the Nickelodeon, all I want is love and you and music, music, music," right? Classic song, very, very catchy. It mentions Nickelodeon, and that immediately sparked an absolutely wonderful memory in my head of 30-something years ago, when I was with a few of my friends back on Long Island, and we were in various bands together. It was always the same group, but we would do different kinds of comedy, rock, or pop bands. So we started with Stephen Fish and his Fabulous Fish Heads, and then that morphed eventually into our big band, the Moist Sheep. Don't ask. So okay, that was our mainstay, and we did those bands for a few years. But in between, one of our group, I think it was Jay, got a gig for us to play at a party, a backyard party barbecue, at this rich guy. He was either a tax accountant or an attorney, but he's this well-off Long Island upper-class guy who was holding a backyard party. And somehow, one of our crew convinced him to hire us to play music for the gig. But here's the deal. It was a country-themed party, and we were not a country music band. But we had a month to practice. And so instead of being the Moist Sheep, or instead of being the Fish Heads, we can play country music, because they were going to pay us. We're going to make a few bucks for the night, and also get free food, and get to play in front of a crowd, which is what we were all about. We wanted to play in front of people. So we cast about for names, and we became Red River Rodolitz and the Pork Rinds. That was actually the name of the band for a night. Red River Rodolitz and the Pork Rinds, which was just so you know, it was a takeoff on an Odd Couple bit where Felix Unger was doing country music, and it was Red River Unger and the Somethings. So we took that name, and we rehearsed like crazy for about 2 or 3 weeks just to learn all these Hank Williams songs. They were the only country songs that we didn't like country music. We didn't want to play country music. We hated the stuff that was on WHN and the radio then. We didn't like the slick stuff, and even if we did, we couldn't have learned to play it. But Hank Williams was simple enough so that we just learned about 8 to 10 Hank Williams songs. The best known ones. We didn't do the Luke the Drifter stuff. And we played Jambalaya, and we played I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. And it did give me an appreciation that I never had for Hank Williams. Because, I was not into country music, wasn't into it at all. But then learning these songs and their simplicity and how catchy they were, it made me appreciate what a great songwriter Hank Williams was. So that was a fabulous part of it. We do this gig, we do this concert, backyard. Nobody's listening to us. People are drinking and they're eating. They're eating, burgers and barbecue, and they're drinking, and we're playing in the background, and occasionally they're dancing a little bit. Now, we had good musicians in our group. Kevin the guitarist, and I guess we had the Wenig brothers on bass and drums at that. I don't know if we had drums for this one. It might have just been bass and guitars and vocals and stuff. But we get up there, and we're playing these songs that we kind of know, and we're getting through them, and we're having a great time, and the people are having a great time because they're getting progressively drunker, but it's going well. It's going amazingly well, all things considered. And then they're getting drunker still, and they want other kinds of songs. So people are now starting to call out, do you know Always by everybody. It's like, no, we didn't know how to play that. Do you know this hit from this? Blue Suede Shoes? Yeah, we know Blue Suede Shoes. We started playing Blue Suede Shoes, right? And then someone asked if we knew Music, Music, Music. The Teresa, I don't know who wrote it, but Teresa Brewer sang it. And that number. And I happen to know the song because my parents had the single. We had the 45 of the song. So I knew the first verse and like the chorus of it. And I knew how the song went. So I'm like, look, they want us to play. They'll probably give us like a tip if we play this damn song. And suddenly I'm going to the guitarist, and I think I'm there on keyboards, and I'm showing the guitarist real quick, okay, it's these chords. And I'm figuring out the chords because I can't read music, and there's no sheet music in front of me. And I'm sort of like, okay, it's like, dum, 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 dum. And basically those 4 chords, within 2 minutes, we're figuring out how to play this song. But this was the beautiful thing. The guy who was throwing the party, this fellow named Myron, I won't give the last name, and very playful guy, who was already a little in his cups at this point. And he said he had a bad hernia operation. I mean, it went well, but it was a very tough recovery. And during his hernia operation, he was bored as hell. Maybe there wasn't a TV in his room, or it had like 4 channels or something like that. But, he's sitting in recovery, doesn't know what to do with himself. He's bored reading books. He doesn't want to. So he starts learning a song that he likes. And the point is, he's teaching it to himself backwards. And he gets up there, and he says, can you play music, music, music? And I'm going to sing it, but I'm going to sing the words backwards. And it's one of my most treasured memories in all of my early 20s years of being there with this country music band, instantly learning music, 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 and having this middle-aged Jewish guy get up in front of this party in this backyard and start singing music, music, music backwards. And it was so special to me. It was such a ridiculous moment, and so telling of the way my life has been in an odd way, that I eventually learned the lyrics to Music, Music, Music backwards, at least the first part of it. So instead of singing, put another nickel in the Nickelodeon, all I want is loving you, and music, 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 he of course turned it into kism, kism, kism. Yeah, he really did this. And because of him, I went home that week, and just for the hell of it, learned it backwards too. I wish I had a little keyboard in front of me, but it's Tupa reckon lekini niet noa dolakon law it no signivol white na kism kism kism. Huh? See, I could be an overpaid lawyer or psychiatrist person myself. So that beautiful moment, and Nickelodeon spelled backwards is Noa Dolakon. You can look it up. It's almost a palindrome, but not quite. So yeah, that beautiful, happy memory of. And I guess I should tell the rest of the story. That after Kism, 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 we could do no wrong. And plus, everybody was still drinking. So after we got through our 8 to 10 Hank Williams songs and played a couple of them twice, we were like, they were just play what you want to play. And that's when we started playing other songs. That way we played Sweet Jane by Lou Reed because we knew that one. We played Happy Together by the Turtle. I mean, it was just like, why not? They let us, for the last 20 minutes, we just played for fun. We had fun, they had fun, we got paid, beautiful night, free food, and kism, kism, kism. And that is our word of the day for Dave's Big Dictionary, Nickelodeon, on Dave's Gone By. Told you it was great. I love that story. Basically because I just get to show off that I can say words backwards. But backwards, it is 30:11 a.m. or M.A. on this Saturday morning, 51 Tepes 8102. We're calling this episode of the show Purgatiad, because it is episode number 666. Sorry, I should have said that backwards. 666, here in the Daverhood. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. And let's see, we've done so much today already. We've done Potato News, we've done Greeley Crimes, we've done our Limerick, we've gone Inside Broadway, we had our story time, I've done the dictionary. Do we have one more segment for you? Of course we do. Because even though we can't play a lot of music because of copyright rules, we can play a little bit. We can play just enough to, I just have to find this here. Just enough music to give you the idea of why we may be playing a song. And it would have to do with something in current events, or society, or something coming up, or something that happened in the world over the past week, or that we're gearing up for in the week ahead. And so, I have to do this off the computer here. There we go. Your job is listen to the song, or part of the song that we play, and you've got to think, why is Dave playing that? What happened in the world that would make him think, oh, I should play this song right now? So, for example, we're going to start with this old tune. Now, he doesn't actually say the name or the reason that we're playing it, but that, of course, is the unmistakable sound of the band The Byrds. Let me just get this in a way that I can read this. So, yeah, The Byrds there from the Essential Byrds, and a song called Tiffany Queen. Tiffany Queen. Why would we play that this week on the Dave's Gone By show? This is a tough one. This one, it's almost a play on words. You got to think a little bit. Tiffany Queen. What happened? Here's your hint. With the Tiffany Network. That should kind of give it to you, hopefully. Because early in the week, CBS, aka the Tiffany Network, fired its longtime CEO, Leslie Moonves, ousted because of allegations of inappropriate behavior, sexual misconduct, even bordering to some level at some level of violence. He and CBS have agreed to donate $20 million to pro-Me Too charities, and this is hysterical. His share will come out of his severance package. Can you imagine making so much money that you're giving away $20 million and it's just a share of your severance package? Now, the problem is if he's found internally or externally guilty of any of these things, he won't get a severance package. I don't think he'll get anything. But anyway, yeah, they're going to bring in this other guy, Joseph Ianiello, is now going to be the CEO. He's the former COO of CBS. So, folks, this is our moment. This is our chance. We've got a new CEO of the Columbia Broadcasting System, right? CBS has new people there because other people are leaving. People have been fired and let go from 60 Minutes as well. We can change the network, start your email campaigns or Twitter campaigns or letter writing. Let's get Manimal back. We can do it. We can bring Manimal back to TV. This is our time. It's our moment. Anyway, that's why we played Tiffany Queen from The Byrds on Dave's Gone By for the Tiffany Network. So now you know why and what relation these songs are and why we're playing them. So here's our next one. I gotta go find it. Oh, it's ready. This one should be fairly apparent.
We're in Florence. Florence, goddammit.
He, of course, is talking about Florence, Italy, one of the most beautiful places on earth. I can tell you that from experience. So, why am I playing? Well, if you don't get this one, you must be living in a cave. But the song is called Florence. It's from the 2005 off-Broadway cast of Songs from an Unmade Bed. Why are we playing that one? Well, Florence is, of course, the name of the hurricane that has been barreling down on the Carolinas up towards southern Virginia. By the way, the score for that show is by a songwriter, theater composer named Mark Campbell, FYI. Anyway, they started with 150-mile-an-hour winds when it was back in the ocean, back on Monday night, and 180-mile-an-hour gusts. And then 2 days later, it was down to 130, and then 160-mile-an-hour gusts is a Category 4 hurricane. And then by the time it made landfall, it was a 1. It was 95 miles an hour. You could hold your finger up. It was no big. There's this hysterical video meme that's been going around of this news reporter on one of the channels covering Hurricane Florence. And he's out there, and it's windy, and it's raining, and it's nasty looking, and he's literally, I'll visually do this, maybe if I get far back in the room, you can see it. And he's like, I'm standing here in the thing, and you can see like how he's braving the elements that are just coming at him, and he's got that great weather person stance where it's just coming at him. He's not going to get blown over, and he can tolerate the big winds and the wind gusts. And as he's doing this, you see in the background there's just people walking with umbrellas like this. It's beautiful. And there's this wonderful, lying with visuals kind of a thing. Really make him look like kind of a fool. No, it's not as if the weather people were fools about this. It's not as if they overstated the case. 5 people have died as a result of Florence. People should have evacuated. It makes me so mad when people don't. They had imagery, I think it was on HLN, of this elderly couple who decided to stay in and wait out the storm, because how bad could it be, right? And so now they're putting these responders at risk who have to come out there in these big trucks and these boats and waders and stuff. And now these people who waited, now they got no power. And instead of 3 days ago getting on a bus somewhere to someplace safe, now they first have to wade through almost knee-high water and get on this army sort of van or this truck and just be equally extra miserable. And believe me, I understand that when you evacuate your house for an upcoming disaster or potential disaster, it isn't as simple as, I'm going to go, there's a hurricane warning, let me drive away, I'll evacuate, I'll come back tonight. It is, they evacuate you 5 days early. You've got to leave your house, then you can't even come back for a while they check for damage, and then you're going to sit in your house for 3 more days or 5 more days with no power. So it's not a simple thing, and it can be a very expensive thing if you're going to stay at a hotel rather than family. And who wants to stay in a stadium or in shelters? So I do get that. But when they warn you to go away, they're doing it for a reason. So Hurricane Florence is still there, and it's slowed down now. It's going about it's a tropical storm now, and the problem, of course, is the rain. The problem is that it's moving 2 miles an hour, really, really slowly, as it twists around on land. So there's just so much moisture, so much rainfall, and it's not moving quickly. So it's dumping and dumping and dumping, 1.5 feet, 2 feet of rain in places. But I'm still, from what I'm seeing on the TV, I am just not seeing disaster. Maybe because they don't really bring the cameras in until it's all done. But I'm seeing, okay, some roads are flooded. Understood. They said, destruction. And it was a torn canopy on a diner. It came through, a hurricane comes through, and the canopy came down. It's like $100 worth of damage on some awning on a diner. And this is the big horror of Florence. No, I don't want to be like the George Carlin guy, where Carlin did this wonderful routine, this very, very truthful routine, that there's something in him and people like me that when a disaster's coming, you want it to be apocalyptic. When a hurricane is coming and it's not towards you, but somewhere else in the world or somewhere else in the country, you kind of want it to be the worst hurricane ever, like thousands of people dead and thrown in the air and coming down on spikes, and then you get the cameras on them, and just, buildings that won't be usable for years, right? Every disaster should be. If there's, God forbid, a shooting somewhere, or a school shooting, 3 people dead, 5 people dead. No, you want them with machine guns, 800 people die in a shooting. Now, that's a shooting. That's Carlin talking, not me, but on some level, he's appealing. He's saying something that's kind of truthful. So when you start talking about this hurricane a week and a half ago and saying it's a Category 5, it's coming, it's barreling towards the Carolinas, it's going to swoop these things in its path, and the wind gusts are 180 miles an hour, plus, tons of rain, tons of people going to drown, and then nothing happens. So far, it's just rain. It comes down, it's got no place to go for a couple of days, and so it'll saturate, and it's not going to be like Puerto Rico, which Donald Trump did such a wonderful job with. It's not going to be because it's contiguous, right? You can get to the Carolinas with trucks and vans and military and National Guard. So it's not isolated like an island, and also there's a lot of white people there. So white people will be helped in a hurricane. So obviously I'm wishing all the folks up along the coast well and not getting hurt, and I hope they evacuated. But at the same time, it's like, all that, and I see the TV and, rainstorm, some flooding. Okay, rain. Too bad. Anyway, weird. I'm just seeing some people who've logged on in the past few minutes. So hello to Annette and Wayne and Paul and Michael and Charles and Annette again. So yay, welcome to all of you. We're doing our Saturday segue of songs in the news. So we played the song Florence from the 2005 off-Broadway musical Songs from an Unmade Bed. The one thing Trump did declare North Carolina and its environs disaster areas, while comically trumpeting just how well we responded during the Puerto Rico hurricane of Maria. And that, when they say that 3,000 people actually died, 3,000 people didn't actually die, 2,998 people died. It's just not quite the same. Anyway, we're doing our Saturday segue of songs in the news. This one might be a little tough if you don't know the song, because there's no words in it. But surfers might. So some guitar magic there from two guitar legends. The louder guitar, I assume, is from Stevie Ray Vaughan, and playing the song and playing along with the guy who wrote that surfing classic, Dick Dale. Song is called Pipeline. Pipeline, and I actually got that from the very, very good soundtrack album to a forgotten movie called Back to the Beach, which was trying to be a comic remake of those old Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello movies, and Pee Wee Herman was in there. Pretty good soundtrack album. But anyway, why would we have played that? Why would we play the song Pipeline by Dick Dale and Stevie Ray Vaughan back from 1987? Well, the reason is Pipeline in the news. If it weren't for Hurricane Florence, this would have totally taken up the news cycle 3 days ago. Boston blew up. These suburbs outside Boston, dozens of explosions were triggered by a gas pipeline rupture, causing injuries. I think there was one death and evacuations in these places near Boston. There were tons of fires. Just these buildings went up because, gas is a dangerous thing. I know that every time I have Mexican food. But officials were busy depressurizing the gas lines and telling residents to turn the gas off in their buildings and just leave. And I just wonder if this is not the beginning of the end. I mean, it is our episode number 666, so maybe it is end times. But I was just talking to one of our neighbors last week, and she says that she has, aside from where her permanent residence is, she has kind of a pied-à-terre in Denver. She's got this little co-op that she's been renting for years and years. And everybody in that co-op is getting hit with a mega monster bill because all the water pipes, they're all copper, and they're just... It's been decades and decades and decades, and the water quality is no good anymore. They've got to get those pipes replaced. They can't not do it. Now, check this out. There's 500 people living in this co-op community. So they're all pitching in. And it's still going to cost them $70,000 each to fix the water pipes. And it just makes me wonder, of all over the country, all over America, how many people have electric wires and copper piping from the 20s, 30s, maybe before? Again, Trump made this big thing about infrastructure, the bridges, the tunnels, the train platforms, the trains themselves. I mean, we're fixing things with Scotch tape and sticky paste and gum. And at a certain point, it's all going to... We got to check all these things and fix them before we get disasters like what happened in Boston this week of just pipelines. There's too much pressure. Pipes were probably kind of old. And if it happened there, it can happen somewhere else. And if bridges are starting to crumble, they're crumbling in one city. There's hundreds and hundreds of bridges in this country. What are we going to do about them? This is a warning, folks. This is a beginning of just telling we got to fix this stuff. FYI. So that's what happened in Boston this week, and that's why we played Pipeline in honor of the pipes that kind of went offline and went kaboom in and around Boston. And by the way, welcome to all these folks who are just tuning in now. Wayne and Paul and Michael and Charles and Kelly and Annette and some other folks that I can't see because they scrolled up all the way. Welcome to Dave's Gone By. A reminder, like if you missed most of the show, we've only got a few minutes left here, but if you missed the show and you want to hear it and see it, we will have the archives. They will be online within a day on my website, davesgoneby.com. It's free. You can either listen as a podcast, download it as an MP3, or just stream it on your computer, or watch the Facebook video. It's all going to be there at davesgoneby.com in the archive section. Anyway, what we're doing now is we're finishing up the Saturday Segue of songs in the news, where you have to figure out, why is Dave playing this particular song? This one is also a little bit tricky. This one you've got to kind of make a couple of synaptic connections in your head to go, okay, the name of the song is this. He's playing that. How does that connect to anything with a person who's in the news?
Her name's Miranda. She's a Rudolph Valentino fan, and she doesn't claim to understand. She bakes brownies for the boys in the band.
Okay. Oh, just got that word in before I had to pot it down. You heard him. You heard Phil Oakes from his kind of overproduced Pleasures of the Harbor album. Her name's Miranda. Miranda. What does Miranda have to do with something that's going on in the news and the world at large? Well, if you're into politics and New York politics, you know that the woman who played Miranda on Sex and the City tried to knock off Andrew Cuomo as the Democratic candidate for governor in the primary that just happened on Thursday. She did not, even though Cynthia Nixon had obviously name recognition and fame. She didn't grab a lot of people, honestly. Cuomo got 2/3 of the vote over Cynthia Nixon. She didn't do much better than an unknown did 4 years ago in the Democratic primary. Why? Maybe because she doesn't have political experience, except we've seen that that's kind of what people are looking for now. Maybe she was too far left. Maybe she turned off people who were like, well, let's eliminate ICE. And people have sort of interesting feelings about that. Maybe she scared people with this idea of universal health care and a lot of the Bernie Sanders stuff, which is great, but how are New Yorkers who are taxed up the wazoo already going to pay for it? I don't know. I thought she would do a little bit better. And leading up in the weeks, people thought, hey, she has a shot, and Cuomo... he's done some good things, but he also has Donald Trump's disease of saying the wrong thing or tweeting the wrong thing at the wrong time, of saying something that would appeal to the far left Democracy Now! People of, well, make America great again? America was never that great. If a politician is supposed to be able to do anything, it's say the right things, even if he doesn't mean them, and appeal to the proper audience. So, he immediately loaned himself for lampooning when he made a statement like that, even though we all knew what he meant. Even though he was saying, hey, look, America is incredibly great if you're a well-off white person, but it hasn't always been great if you've been from other cultures and other ethnicities and such, and other genders. So that's what he was trying to say, making fun of Trump, said it in the wrong way, and of course he got hit on that. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. He had the backing. He had the votes. There were times in the debates where they both got contentious with each other. She interrupted him frequently, which is quite annoying. And he said, please stop interrupting me. And she said, well, please stop lying. Good comeback, but still, we kind of want a little civil discourse in our debates. Anyway, she lost. He won, and he will very likely, unless some Republican challenger comes out of the blue, will likely be the governor for 4 more years. So congratulations, in a sense, to Andrew Cuomo for knocking off Miranda in the primaries this past week. And that's why we play that song from Phil Oakes. Are you ready for one last number in our Saturday segue of songs in the news? And this is kind of good because we've talked about this singer earlier in the show. He's coming to Loveland next Saturday. Let's hear him live from his album, The Unrequited.
Call me Mr. Guilty.
A song there, of course, from Loudon Wainwright III, from his Unrequited album. Again, I apologize for potting these down so quickly, but again, if I play more than that, Facebook will threaten to cut off the stream, and nasty things happen, and mole people come up from the sewers, and they throw off their manholes, and they come after me. So that's why I can play just enough of the song to give you the idea of why I'm playing it. Well, we played the song Mr. Guilty by Loudon Wainwright III. Who's Mr. Guilty? Who's the man who pleaded guilty? It was the Manafort who pleaded guilty. Okay, give it away there. But yes, we played that song because this past week, just a day ago, Paul Manafort, the guy who basically got Donald Trump's candidacy together, his first campaign chair, pleaded guilty on 2 federal counts of fraud. I guess he made a deal. He was guilty of all of them, but he pled guilty to 2. This is on top of being found guilty earlier on other stuff. This will avoid a costly second trial, and also means Manafort will cooperate with Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. Now, whether this means that they will find the smoking gun, the needle in the haystack, that somehow Donald Trump and Russia colluded to get him elected, which I honestly, much as I don't like the president, much as I am a Democrat, I just don't believe it. I just don't buy that whole thing, even though Manafort has fraudulent and money-hiding ties to Russia and Ukraine. Fine. I just don't see, and I'm sure that Russians and other folks tried to hack parts of our election, try to influence the election, try to change even the voting or the voting booths, or get into the digital workings of these things. I think it's something that should be looked into very, very carefully and closely. Even if we have to go back, like last-minute surprise, you can either mail in your ballot or physically go to the voting booths. But I mean, for like an absentee ballot, but take away all the other kind of balloting, and you physically have to go back and go in and vote and write in the candidate's name or something like that. Take away the digital factor, anything that could be hacked, or that some crazy genius computer person could figure out a way to change and manipulate. I don't know what it is. I do believe that we've got to be very careful about that. I just honestly don't believe that Trump's presidency had anything to do with Russian... You know what? If there were a bunch of Russians getting on the interwebs on Facebook and saying terrible things about Hillary Clinton, terrible things about Obama's presidency, talking up Donald Trump, there's nothing illegal in that. If I write a book and I want to get news of that book out, and I happen to know some academic or some theater person in Sweden, and they write me a recommendation and they post it on the interwebs where they talk me up as being a really great book about theater, there's nothing wrong with that. So all of it is just this one big muddle and mess. But certainly the Democrats are hoping that Manafort will hoist Trump on some kind of petard. And that said, by the way, this week, also they're looking into indicting Obama's White House counsel, Greg Craig, that's his name, Greg Craig, for being a foreign agent, for not disclosing. Now, he was going back and forth to all these countries, and he happened to be linked to Paul Manafort. So it just goes, it's so tangled and so ridiculous. But what it means to me, though, is if you say that old line of a man or a woman is judged by the company he or she keeps. And if you figure that Trump's lawyer is Michael Cohen, and the first man who was coordinating his campaign is this guy Manafort, and they're both crooked as, I was going to say crooked as this straw, but this is actually a very straight drinking straw. They're both, what the hell's, I have nothing crooked on my desk. This is amazing. I could take out my penis, but that would be a very different kind of a show. So, all right, but crooked people doing these things, and these are the folks that Trump, a businessman, surrounds himself with. And I've said this many times on the show, that, Trump, he took his father's $1 million business, turned it into a multi-million dollar business. Okay, but you don't do that, and you don't do that in the construction industry without paying off people, without having bribes, without dealing with some very, very shady characters, and it's just the nature of that business. Look under any construction business, just as in any carting business or sanitation business, and you'll see God knows what you have to deal with, be it the mafia, be it thugs, be it things under the table. So that's, I'm sure, how Trump's dad had a deal, how Trump had a deal, and it's what they all have to do. But then to look back and see him now as president and say, oh, everybody around him is clean, and he just did everything on the up and up and fair and fair and balanced, and you gotta go, no, if he was dealing with crooks and thugs in the first place, that's probably who he's still dealing with now. Stan is asking if Mike Cohen is related to Roy Cohn. No, because Mike Cohen and Roy Cohn are not related. Because Roy Cohn, first of all, there's no E in Roy Cohn. And Roy Cohn was kind of gay, so I don't think he had any children. But anywho, that is our Saturday segue of songs in the news here on the Dave's Gone By Facebookio program of the stream. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got to hear. And as I said, if you listen to the audio archive of this show, when it's posted by tomorrow probably, I'll play more of the songs. I'll load them in there so that you can hear the full Loudon Wainwright song. You can hear Dick Dale's Pipeline. You can hear, we're getting a little notification there that our recorder, this recorder needs a battery. But the other one will get the last waning moments of this episode, our 666th of Dave's Gone By. It's been great. It's literally noon Mountain Time here at the University of Northern Colorado in Greeley, Colorado. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I want to thank my darling and adorable wife, Joyce, for spending the first few minutes of the program with us doing that. I want to thank all of you for tuning in, for writing in, for sending me messages. Remember that you can message me all week long here on Facebook, or also send me email, davesgoneby@aol.com. davesgoneby@aol.com. I also have a Facebook, you're watching the Facebook page. I have a Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2, Radio Dave number 2. I don't really post that much to it, but I'll follow you if you'll follow me, Radio Dave 2 on Twitter. And I usually post a couple of little things per week on there. And thank you, Art Paul. Art Paul was saying that the last few minutes were great. Art Paul Schlosser did. Well, Art Paul, if you missed the first 2.5 hours of the show, listen to it online. I think you'll have a great time. And everybody go listen to Art Paul Schlosser's music, because he is constantly writing new material. He is a Madison, Wisconsin street musician. He's been on the program, and songs are a lot of fun to listen to. Just gave me a thumbs up. So thank you, Art Paul. And thank you to Stan for all your comments and all the folks who've been listening since we started 3 hours ago. Just want to remind you that we are here every Saturday from 9 until noon, or thereabouts, ending earlier than we tend to today. That's actually quite rare. We usually buck in the 4-hour mark. And maybe we'll have a special guest on next time. Maybe not. Just depends on what we can corral. We have some people in to, quote, dale the pipeline, but can't say anything yet. But if not, I'll still do this. We'll have part 3 of Vegetable Friends, the book. We'll have another Dave's Big Dictionary. We'll have Greeley Crimes and Old Times. We'll have our usual fun here in the Daverhood. So it just remains for me to, first of all, wish our Jewish listeners an easy fast on, fast, as I like to call it. Fast quickly. May your 24 hours go by in 2. And have a good Yom Kippur, and I hope to see you a week from today, next Saturday, for the next edition of Dave's Gone By. So let's go out with a little bit more music, since, as we said, this is... I'll bring that special potato back. Because, potatoes are still coming down from the joy that was Potato Day. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this 666th edition of the Dave's Gone By Facebook show, we talk about the beast and the number of the beast and whatever weird biblical things about that. People aren't sure what the hell it means. They just say it's either the sign of end times or a death sign or sign of a beast. Could be, makes me just think of that old Abbott and Costello moment from Abbott and Costello Meet the Wolfman, where Lon Chaney Jr. is telling Lou, he's like, you've got to chain me up, you've got to keep me away from people and keep me away from women. And Lou says, why? And he says, you don't understand, when the moon comes out, I turn into a beast. And Lou says, you and a million other guys. Ha ha! Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Dave's Gone By. I thank you so much, and let's play a song called Beast by Agnes Obel from her album Philharmonics. Here's Beast and Gone By.